That's great. So most of the things that I put out and people that I brought here tonight are used to my products being as easy as possible because easy is literally in the name of most of the things that I put out, and I like to make things as easy as possible. But when I saw your method, I hate to say it, but you got me beat on the easy train here. It's and it's funny because people write into me and say, Matt, what do you have that's easier than this? And if you're looking to well, like we said in the email, we're not talking. You don't have to sell this. You don't have to fulfill the service. It's it's really something. When I caught wind of it, I immediately checked it out myself, reached out to Kenny, saw what he could do to do it as soon as possible, and we were able to book him for tonight. And I really appreciate all of you coming out here. I know that it's the end of summer, and there's a lot of people on vacation, and yet you're here tonight. It shows your dedication towards wanting to make something happen in your own business, and that's why we're here. So, Kenny, are you ready to take it away over there?
We definitely are. Sure. Yep. Ready when you are.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, well, please, everyone that's here, I just want to encourage you to pay attention, uh, just 100%. I'm serious. Like, move your phone off to the side because I know that I have wandering hands sometimes to grab that phone and check whatever. I have it away from my desk and turn off your other, shut up your other browser tabs, close the door to the room that you're in because you want to focus. You don't want to miss a minute of this. Um, Again, when I first heard about it, it almost sounded too good to be true, and I checked it out, and the good news is that it is. It's pretty darn incredible, and I am really excited for Kenny to share this with you. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right. Well, first of all, Matt, thank you for putting this on for us and inviting your audience here. You guys, like I've been saying, you guys are going to have a lot of fun tonight. I'm a pretty fun guy. I'm not very serious about myself or the stuff that I do, but when it comes to building businesses and stuff, that's when we do kind of get down to it, right? So I kind of cut out all the BS. You're not going to see pictures of Ferraris or open houses where I'm sneaking in, taking pictures of a mansion or anything like that. It's all straight to the point and actionable content that you can use right away. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is how to build a $10,000 per month business in under 30 days by giving away a free service that you don't have to sell or provide. And part number two of the training, which I got to be honest, is what this is what most people actually really love because I think I'm one of the only people that allow people to actually do this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how to close up to 80% of the prospects you talk to on the very first contact. I put a call in there, the word call, because I'm a phone guy. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. That's how I was trained. When I was 15, I started doing that. I do it every day up until today. But what's cool about this is I allow people to open up their microphones and challenge me on anything that I say. And I think I'm one of the only people that allow the audience to do that. So any one of you that wants to come on and say, oh, you can't close 80% of the people, you could throw out an objection to me, and I will teach you right here live on this call how to overcome literally anything that anyone could say to you. So that's a lot of fun. So make sure you stay focused and stay tuned for that as well as we come up. So here are some of the results that we've been seeing from the previous trainings that we've done. And I'm just going to scroll through these pretty quickly. You see $132,610 there. Here's my buddy Marcus, 18 years old, took some of this training here with us tonight and closed a deal with over 900 customers for him in one shot. And all he had to do is give something away for free. And we're going to talk about the whole free thing here in a second. So more results there. So the quick question I have for you before we actually get started in diving into this is, when providing services to businesses, there's only one result that they're after. What do you think that is? And I want you to type it in the chat box. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to look at the chat box because I know that most people get this wrong. Some people get it right, but most of those people have heard me say it before. But I'm not going to look. I'm just going to give you the answer. But before I do, when providing services to businesses, there's only one result they're after. What do you think that is? Now, what most people will say is, well, they want more traffic. They want more leads. They want more sales. They want more customers. They want more exposure. They want whatever, right? The bottom line, and this is what you guys have to understand, this is going to be like the basis of everything that we talk about tonight. Everything that every business does, for the most part, they do it to make more money. right? And we're talking about in a marketing or advertising type way, right? Some things they don't do to make more money. They get extra health care or whatever. That's different. But I'm talking about from a marketing standpoint, they do those things because they believe in some way, shape, or form it will bring them in more money. So they buy SEO not to get on the first page of Google, to get more money in the door. That's why they do it. They buy the Yellow Pages ad to get more money. They buy the radio spot to get more money. They buy a website design package to get more money. They invest in video marketing to get more money. That's the only reason why they would ever do anything like that. And the reason why this is very important, and I'm starting real quick here, so make sure you pay attention. The reason why this is very important is because again, it's the basis of everything that we're going to be talking about from this point forward. When you guys go in and you pitch SEO, you're talking about Penguin, Panda, whatever. When you go in and pitch a website design, you're talking about the graphics and the colors and all that stuff, right? When you go in and talk about video marketing, you're talking about how big YouTube is and how important it is for video. What I do is I go in and say, listen, I'm going to bring, let's say it's a plumber, right? I'm going to bring you more broken toilets. You're going to fix them, and we're going to love each other forever. Simple as that. Whether it's video, SEO, Facebook, doesn't matter. He's after the money, or she's after the money, depending on the situation, right? So it's very important that we draw that baseline before we get started, because that's going to be the basis of everything that we talk about from this point forward. So if I was able to show you a way, if you watch the video that Matt sent out before we started this, I asked this question, and I want to hear some answers here. So if I was able to show you a way where you can give away a free service that you didn't have to provide, and you got paid $97 per month every time somebody signed up, how many would you give away? This one I am going to look in the chat box, so I actually want some answers. If I was able to show you a way, which is what we're going to do tonight, where you can give away a free service, just literally say, here, take this and use it for free, and every time somebody signed up, you got paid $97 a month, how many of those would you give away? I'm going to take a quick break here, hop over in the chat box. Millions. Is this live, Derek? Yes, it's live. 111,000, I think that says. One a day at least. A million, Sean. 100,000, Sean says. Okay, so the only answer to that is as many as you can, right? I mean, that's really the answer. As many as you can. If you can give away 10 a day, that would be awesome. If you can give away 100 a day, if you can give away one a day, if you can give away 100 a month, whatever it is, the answer to that question always is as many as you possibly could, right? Give away something for free. Every time somebody signs up, you get paid $97 a month. How many you give away? The answer is as many as you can, right? So my promise to you, within the next hour or so, you're going to know exactly how to get a minimum of 10 new quote-unquote free service clients per week that pay you $97 per month without having to personally sell anything to anybody ever or provide any of the services. So you don't have to sell it. You don't have to provide it. It's free for the prospect to take, and every time somebody signs up, you get paid $97 a month. Does that sound, if you think that sounds awesome, type a 1 in the chat box. I'm going to continue. Shelly Benton is somebody who came on one of our trainings a short while ago. I don't remember exactly when it was. She's currently working on a deal right now with an organization of over 1,200 customers. One shot, one deal, 1,200 customers like that. And all she did was watch the same webinar that you guys are watching tonight. So if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you the exact sales presentation that I use to sell and provide high-ticket services for over $10,000 per month, and that's going to be part 2 of the training. And again, during that part, you guys are going to be able to open up your microphones if you want to and challenge anything that I say, because I want this to be, even though we're not talking really about sales tonight, we're talking about giving away something for free. I believe that sales and influence is the most important thing in business, and I want you guys to learn as much as you possibly can from that. So you can literally open up your microphone and challenge anything that I say, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to overcome any objection that you want to overcome. So what is the free service method? Well, first of all, it's based on results instead of time. Right? When I started my consulting company, that was a time deal, right? I started that in 2007. That was a time deal. So it was all based on my calendar. How many people can I talk to in a day? How many consultations can I do a day? How many clients can I take on? I got to 42 and I was a mess. I was making a ton of money. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was making a lot of money, but I couldn't do anything with that money. I was sitting in my office just working all the time because we have 42 clients that you meet twice a month, and you have to do sales funnels for them. You got to send them statistics. You got to send them reports. It's a nightmare. So this business model here is based on the result instead of time. Because of that, it creates instant time freedom. Now, I'm going to say this is a little controversial, and I get into arguments about it all the time, but I truly believe that money is the most important thing in the world. And I know, no offense, but broke people disagree with me all the time. People that don't make any money will disagree with me. Oh, love's the most important thing and passion's the most important thing. Bottom line is money is the most important thing because it buys time. And time is the only thing that is like you can't create it, right? Money we can create. And if we could create more income, then we can create time for ourselves. And I'm going to go into examples of how that's done, and I'm going to teach you how to do it here tonight. The free service model also builds an asset that grows in value over time. So even if you're someone who is making a little bit of money online, or maybe you're making a lot of money online, a lot of times the way that you do that is, and I've been there, and I currently do it. I mean, I still do it. I'm not going to say that I don't. I still do it. And I know there are probably some people in here that do this as well. You go out and you launch a product, right? You make a little bit of money from that product, and then what do you do next? You launch another one, right? And then you launch another one and another one and another one. You gather the JV partners, and you do the big deal. I get that. But the problem with that is that asset is not really growing over time. All you're doing is running through a cycle over and over and over again. And that becomes old very quick. Although you make money doing it, it becomes old very quick. So here, we're talking about building an asset that grows the more you do it. And it's never going to stop growing. Creates instant cash flow. We're going to talk about stuff being profitable from day number one. And I'm going to tell you that if it's not profitable from day number one, you should stop doing it. I'm going to explain that deeply so you understand it. But here, with this model, you create cash flow literally from the second you start doing it. And I'm going to show you how that's done live on the call tonight. So no matter who you are or what you've done in the past, you can do this. If you can give away something for free to somebody who wants, needs, and desires it, and that's probably about 99.8% of businesses in the world, okay, that deal with customers, not B2B people, but B2C people, almost every one of them, pretty much. If they have a want, need, and desire for it, if they can afford it, it's free. And if you can get in front of a decision maker, easy to do. If you can do that and you give it away for free, you can do this. It's not that difficult to do. It's the easiest thing to do in the world. And I'm going to show you again exactly how it's done live on the call. So that's me there. I'm the guy in the picture. I say that joke every time, and it doesn't get much of a response. I'm the guy, and that's my 91-year-old aunt. I take her to the casino here locally when she comes out to visit. She lives out in Queens. I live out on Long Island, so she comes out a couple times a year, and we hang out a little bit. One of the top sales and negotiation specialists in the world. I started my career at the infamous stock firm here on Long Island called Stratton Oakmont. I'm sure some of you might have heard that before. It was the movie Wolf of Wall Street was kind of like made about that firm. I was only there for a little while. I didn't get licensed there, thank God. I got licensed at a company called Tassin & Company, but I worked with those guys for a very long time. Negotiated everything from international trade deals and legal settlements and exits. Almost all of my clients are in the legal field. And again, if you watch the video that Matt sent out a couple days ago, or yesterday, I believe, you heard me say in that video that a lot of my clients are lawyers. And again, if you want to ask questions about that as to why or how I get them or whatever, you can, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. Started my consulting company here in New York in 2007. Like I said, at the height of it, we had 42 clients. I had about 50 people working for me over in India. It was a pretty big deal. But again, my calendar got filled up and I just couldn't sell it anymore, and that became a problem. Worked with companies such as Hyundai USA, pretty much every major car brand you could think of. But the dealerships, I don't want to mislead you and think I worked for the big deal, right? Individual dealerships all across the country. Subway restaurants, Geico Auto Insurance, and many small to medium-sized businesses as well. Worked with some of the top internet marketers in the world. My first webinar ever was in Mike Filsame's office here on Long Island. I was working out of his office. I was sitting in a conference room, comes in behind me, big whiteboard, and I've been working there now, building my own business, but working out of his office for probably 6 months or so, and I was just hanging out in the conference room. Starts drawing boxes behind my head. I'm like, what is this maniac doing? He turns around, and I'm like, what is that? He's like, this is a webinar we're doing it Wednesday night. Be here at 8. I'm like, oh, I don't even know what that is. He's like, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay. And then he told me the next day, he's like, you got to create slides about these things. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then we did it. And that night, we made like a lot of money. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like, this is interesting. And that was my first webinar with him. And I'm going out, like I said, to San Diego in a couple weeks. So, we're not as close as we were when he was here on Long Island. We met in the car business, and then we kind of rekindled our relationship in the internet marketing world. But he moved over to the West Coast now. So we talk once in a while. But we try to stay as close as we possibly can. Sell stuff every day of my life. Most important bullet point on this slide right there. Why? Because when you come to me and you say I can't get through a gatekeeper, I can tell you how to do that. Not because I heard it 10 years ago, like the New York Times best-selling authors that write the sales books. I can tell you how to get through the gatekeeper because I heard it an hour ago. When you tell me, oh, the guy said he didn't have any money, I don't know what to do. I can tell you how to get over that because I heard it this morning, not 15 years ago. Okay? So that's really, really important. And I'll tell you right now, the only reason why I do that is so that I can stay in the game. Because I truly believe the best of the best of the best do it every day. The best golfers in the world, they golf. I hate golf, but they golf every day, right? I'm a hockey player and a hockey coach. I played hockey my whole life, and I've been coaching for the past 5 years. Best hockey players in the world: Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews. They play hockey every day. It's not like a once a month thing. They do it every day. So the best of the best, you have to keep up with it. You have to do it every single day. So I also fish a lot, as you can see there in the picture. That's two monster fluke right there. If you're anywhere in the Long Island, New Jersey, Connecticut area, bay fishing, those are two big fish. So after doing this for 9 years, you can use this to start a new business if you want to. And this is really the true beauty of it. Or you can add it to whatever you're currently doing as a second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth income stream. That's the beauty of it. You can say, listen, I'm Brandon, I don't have anything. Right? And that's cool. You could use this to start a new business. Or you could say, I got an SEO company. I got a video marketing company. I have a web development company. I do digital products online. Okay, you can add this to what you're currently doing as well. The free service method, in my opinion, is the only way to provide offline services in 2018 and beyond. And we'll get into this as we go through the training, but the main reason for that is because these guys are getting hammered. They're not getting hammered the right way, because there is a right way to hammer somebody, but what happens is they're getting emails all the time, cold emails, right? You sign up for a new domain name, check your email address the next day. You're going to have 35 emails saying, oh, I could build you a website. Oh, I could do this. That's what people do, right? So these people are getting hammered all the time. So when I go in there and I'm like, listen, we're so confident in what we have, we're willing to give it to you for free. They're like, that's different. And I explain to them, the reason why we're able to do that is because we understand that once you see the power behind what we have, you're never going to say no to me again. Okay? And when we do that, it works very, very well. And that's not the exact pitch. We'll go over how to get it done, but that's why it's the only way to do it, in my opinion. You could sell it without having to personally sell anything to anybody ever. You're never attached to the business, which is a major deal. I'm going to go into that more as we go through the thing. And we create a sellable asset, which is obviously extremely important. So I discovered this the hard way. What is the hard way? First of all, I'm going to say this in the next slide, but I want to point this out before I even go through these bullets. The hard way works. It does. There's no doubt about it. And I could prove it to you 1,000 different ways. It does work. But the problem is, no one's willing to do it. So here's how I built pretty much every company that I've ever owned in my life. And this is also how I made money at every job I ever worked at in my life. I prospected over the telephone like crazy. Sales process takes a long time, right? In my consulting business, it took up to 8 months. That was the longest deal I ever had. And I didn't even actually close that deal, by the way. It was the longest deal I had. I didn't even close it. Spent 8 to 10 hours a day on the phone with clients. I sold the deal. I did the consultation calls. I wrote all the support emails. I had zero free time, and I eventually ran out of room on my calendar. What does that mean? That means I can't sell any more deals. If I can't close any more deals, what's happening to my business? I'm not growing, right? And to quote, I think Tony Robbins, unless he stole it from somebody else, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? So my company was essentially dying because I couldn't get any bigger. I was at capacity. I couldn't do any more because I had no more room, literally had no more room on my calendar. So I knew things had to change at that point. And like I said before, the hard way works, but most people are unwilling to do it. You're attached to your desk 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, figuratively speaking. And what if you drop dead? Literally and figuratively speaking. What if you actually walk out to your mailbox and you get hit by a truck? What happens? Well, if you can't do the consultation calls, if you can't do the emails, if you can't build a website, if you can't do the SEO, if you can't create digital products, what are you leaving for your kids? Nothing is the answer to that question, right? You don't do anything. What happens if you want to just go do something else, right? What if you want to start a different business or go in a different direction, or you don't like what you're doing anymore? You can't sell the SEO thing if you're doing everything. You can't sell the video marketing thing if you're doing everything, right? I couldn't sell my consulting company because without me it was worthless because I'm the one doing everything, right? So you have to create something that's aside from you, that runs separately from you. I'm not saying that's day one, right? Because that's just misleading you. It's not day one. You're not going to start it from day one that way. But again, eventually, as you start to grow, you become separate from the business. Doesn't mean you don't have to work. We all have to work. There's no such thing as free money. There's no such thing as getting wealthy easily, right? We all have to work, but again, we want to build something that's separate from ourselves because we want to protect ourselves from things like dying or just wanting to do something else, and that's perfectly fine. And we want to be able to take that and either sell it to somebody else or give it to our kids or whatever we want to do with it. So if you want the easy way that doesn't require you to sell anything or provide any services and creates time freedom in the process, type a 1 in the chat box if you want that. The easy way that doesn't require you to sell anything, you give it away for free. You get paid $97 a month every time somebody signs up, and it doesn't require you to sell anything or provide any services, and it creates instant time freedom in the process. If you want that, type a 1 in the chat box. Results obviously are not typical. Typical people, I forget the person's name and I apologize already, but typical people are not here on a Wednesday night at 1 a.m. their time. I mean, that's insane, right? Someone said before they're in Australia and they're up at 8, it's 8 a.m. They're listening to me talk right now. That's not a typical person. Those people they don't want to be average. Typical's average. They don't want to be average. They want to be well above average. Typical people right now, I know because my daughter's doing it upstairs, typical people right now are watching America's Got Talent. And they're watching that weird girl who thinks she's Janis Joplin jump around the stage like a lunatic. That's what typical people are doing. So yes, results are not typical. I have to say that. But I truly don't believe that typical people attend things like this. They just don't. They do their job from 9 to 5. They come home, they shove dinner down their throat, they talk to their kids for 5 minutes, they turn the TV on for 2 hours, they go to sleep, do it all over again. That's typical. That's average. Okay, so yes, results are not typical, but I don't believe typical people are actually here with us tonight. 3 rules you got to abide by, you got to live by. These are the 3 main tenets of the training that we're going to be going through tonight. I can make more money in a day giving away results. Remember we talked about what the first thing I asked you? What are businesses after? You go to them, they're not after the SEO, they're not after the web development, they're not after the video, they're not after any of that. They're after money. Okay? So if you can give away the result, you're going to make more money doing that than you are selling anything else. I don't care what it is that you're selling. And I'm going to prove that out to you here in a minute. But the bottom line is I can make more money giving away a result than I can selling anything else. And that creates financial or income freedom, which is what we call it. I don't have to personally be involved in the business at all if I don't want to. That creates time freedom because eventually over time you separate yourself from the business. Money is the most important thing in the world. You can argue with me if you want about that. But the reason why it's the most important thing in the world is because time is really the most important thing, but we can't create that. We can create income, but we can't create time. And income frees up time if you do it the right way. Rule number 3, I only need 10 or so leads per week to make 5 figures per month. 10 or so leads per week. We're going to do math here. Not crazy math. I have a little calculator that I'm going to show you, but it's nothing crazy. But I'm going to show you how if you could just talk to 10 people or so a week, you can make 5 figures per month easily by giving away something for free. And again, I'm going to break down the math for you because a lot of people don't. I'm going to get into this deeper as I get to that point, but a lot of people are like, oh yeah, 10 grand a month, that's just out of my reach, or 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 or whatever. But they never actually sit down and do the math behind it. They never actually sit down and look at it, right? If you sell a $1,000 product, 10 grand a month is 10 sales. If you close 1 out of 10 people, 10% closing ratio, you got to talk to 100 people. If you break that down over 30 days, it's, I don't know, what is it, like 3 or 4 people a day? Something like that? 10 people a day? I don't know, something like that. It's not that big of a deal if you just do the math behind it. It becomes a lot more reachable. So we're going to do math in step number 3. And you know, I'm not a big math guy, so it's pretty easy. All right. I can make more money in a day giving away results than I can in a month selling anything else. That creates financial and income freedom. Got some pictures here. I had to put my aunt in here twice. I love my aunt to death. She's 91 years old. She lives in Queens. She comes out and visits me every once in a while. We go out to the casino. And I also took her to her first Islander game at 90 years old. Big Islander fans, big hockey fans. My family is. And that's me and my 2 sisters up there at the Barclays Center in our suite watching the game. That's my daughter on the left. I don't know who those guys are, to be honest with you, but they're prospects of the Islanders. I have no idea who they are. They were practicing, and she was there, and she took pictures with them. And that is one of my hockey teams on the right-hand side. Not the one that I play on, obviously, but those are, let me see. Those are my 14 and under kids. So I have a 14 and under team, and I also coach a 12 and under team as well. So here's how we actually do this. And then I'm going to show you exactly what it is that we're giving away. Okay, so we walk into a business and let's say, or we email them, or we send them a video, or we call them, or however you want to get in touch with them, right? Whatever it is. And we give you all that information as well. We walk in to King Chef and we say, King Chef, Mr. Chef, let me ask you a question. Which one of these would you choose? Okay, now before they answer, I like to cut them off. Because I'm just going to walk in and I'm going to say, Mr. Chef, let me ask you a question. Which one of these would you choose? And I show them King Chef, I show them wild rice. And then as they start to talk to me, I say, I know you're probably biased because you own the place. But let me explain it to you a little differently. If you and your wife were in an area that you didn't know, you were looking for a Chinese restaurant to eat at, right? You didn't know who King Chef was. You didn't know who Wild Rice was. Which one of these would you choose if you were that person? What do you think the answer is? Every single time they point to Wild Rice. Every time. Why? Because Wild Rice has a 4.7 star rating and they have 55 reviews. Right? King Chef has a 3.0 rating and they have 21 reviews. Every single time they point to the one with the better reviews. Okay? And you could prove this out, again, like most other things we're going to be talking about, you can prove it out 100 different ways. If they say anything wrong here, what's the last thing you bought on Amazon? Vitamins. Okay? So when you're looking at a vitamin A bottle and another vitamin A bottle, and they're both $10, one of them has a 3-star rating with 55 people rating it. The other one has a 5-star rating or 4.5-star rating with 3,000 people rating it. Are you going to choose the one with three stars and just roll the dice and say screw it and throw it down your mouth? No, that's called stupidity. You're going to pick the one because we base our buying decisions based on other people's experiences, right? Especially if we don't have an experience before. So we base it on what other people are saying. This is the word of mouth of 2018 and beyond. That's what it is. And again, we can prove that out as well by showing them the 2017 Bright Local Survey, which tells us 85% of customers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. So when I walk into King Chef, I say, hey, listen, Mr. Chef. That's not his name. That's like another joke that I tell that never gets a reaction on these calls. But I walk in and I say, hey, whatever the guy's name is, Joe, right? Let's say Joe is the chef at a Chinese restaurant or the owner at a Chinese restaurant. I say, Joe, let me ask you a question. If I was able to if I was able to take 85% of your customer base and turn them into people that were referred to you from their aunt, their brother, their uncle, their brother, or their sister, do you think your business would increase or decrease? What's the answer to that question? The answer is obviously increase, right? The number one question I got asked as a business consultant is, how do I get more referrals? Now, I used to tell people the stupid way. Call them, send them Christmas cards, ask them. Right? Call them up and don't say, do you know anybody? That's stupid. Never say that. Say, who do you know that could do this? Different wording, different tonality, different pace, works differently, gets a different reaction. But in today's world, the best way to get referral-based business is to have amazing reviews all over the internet. Because, again, the data proves it out. 85% of customers look at online reviews. They weigh online reviews as much as they would weigh a personal recommendation. So if you look at a company that has a 5-star rating and they have 100 reviews online, that's the same as if your brother told you to go there. That's how people look at it. And again, the data proves it out. So the next thing I say to Mr. Chef is I say, how about we bring you from where you are now to where you want to be, and how about we do it completely for free? Okay, now we don't actually say it in that way because that sounds stupid because it rhymes and he'll probably laugh at me. But you get the point, right? You're here, 3.1. Your competition is here, 4.5. You need to be at his level or above. Data proves it out. How about we do that for you over the next 30 days and we won't charge you anything? Now, let me show you quickly what it looks like. This is what we put on the person's computer. So King Chef says, okay, fine, yeah, let's do it. What we do is our team comes in and installs this on their computer. Now, it's not going to say Trinity Community Church. That's one of the charities that we work with. It's not going to say that. It's going to say King Chefs, right, in this example. But whatever the company is, that's the logo that's going to be on top. That guy has to put in an email address and or a phone number of the customer that walks in the door. So let me ask you this. Chinese restaurant, do they have the phone number already? Most of the time, because people are calling in and saying, yeah, I want the pork fried rice or whatever, right? They're calling in and getting the stuff. When you walk into the store, CVS, Best Buy, whatever, what do they ask you? What's your email address? Do you have a rewards card? What's your phone number? I'll look it up, right? They're getting the information anyway. It's not like they have to ask for anything new. They're already doing it. So what they have to do now is just put it into one extra form that takes them 5 seconds to do. Then what happens is the customer, their customer, is going to get a text message, which I don't have displayed here. okay, because I couldn't get it off my phone. But they have it. They get a text message and or an email, depending on what information they put into the system. And the email is going to tell them to leave a review. Now, here's the key to this whole entire thing, and this is one of the biggest selling points that we have. The key to this is when we go here, you see the bottom where it says 5 stars, it says I loved it, right? We do an internal review first. So what that means is 4 stars and above gets led here. That's a Google review page. That person leaves a review on Google. 3 stars and below gets led to a customer support portal, okay? Everything that we do is 1,000% in line with Google's terms of service. Scott has a fancy word for it or something called like gating or something. That's not what we're doing here. We're not trying to get people to not leave reviews. We're openly and honestly just doing an internal review first and then leading them to the Google review platform second. And here's another crazy selling point that we have. It's not just Google either. It's literally any review platform on the internet. Okay? So if I walk into a real estate agent and they're like a real estate broker and they're like, yeah, this is awesome. This tool is amazing, but Google is not really a big deal for us, but we use like Zillow all the time. Done. Done. We'll have you up on Zillow ready to go. Not only is it done for you, broker, owner of the office, how about we just sign up everyone in the office for their own account? Then I get 30 deals in one shot. Boom, done, right? Same thing with car dealers. We have Dealer Rater, right? People want Facebook reviews. Okay, fine. I'm not here to argue, man. I think Google's pretty important. You want to do Facebook? We'll do Facebook. Not a big deal. We can do any review platform in the world. Doesn't matter. And there's a lot that aren't listed on here too. Expedia.com, Hotels.com. I was just using, what was I just using for to do my San Diego trip? Oh man, I think it was like Kayak or something like that. It was some kind of boat, like canoe or something like that. Kayak.com or one of those. Any one of them. It doesn't matter. If they have a review thing built in, we can do it. Okay, so that's another huge benefit because a lot of these restaurants and stuff that we deal with, they don't want Google. They want Yelp, right? So easy. We could do any one of them. Doesn't matter what it is. All right, so again.
Kenny, there's so many, and actually it's funny because my family's about to go on vacation, and I had trouble finding hotel rooms that could fit 5, and I found a review site just focused on families of 5 or more.
That's pretty cool. You know what I was having trouble with this time? I only travel if this is going to sound stupid, but I only travel if there's a kitchen in the room. I will not stay in a regular hotel room. So, and the reason why is because if I go away to San Diego for a week, I got to eat out every night for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? That's stupid. So I would rather have a place with a thing. So I was looking on every single site that I could find, and none of them had a way to filter out all of the ones that just had kitchens. So what I ended up doing is going through the Kayak or whatever it is site, and then that referred me to Airbnb, and I ended up getting one of them.
Nice.
And again, reviews built in, same thing. And I base my decision on the reviews of the Superhost that I chose to get the house from.
The other day, somebody recommended a restaurant to us, and I went online, and the reviews were horrible, and that literally stopped us from going there. And that was a case of us hearing a good word, and then the internet blowing it.
Yep. And again, it leads me back to what I was saying in the beginning, guys. It's all about showing them that, first of all, showing them that they matter, right? Like what Matt says. He got a personal recommendation from somebody, and the reviews said no, so he said no. So this is the word of mouth of 2018 and beyond. But if you look through all the stuff that I just showed you guys, all this right here, right? We go through all of this here. I show them this really quickly, show them the data, any review site you want. What's the objection? Now, listen, we do Monday morning calls from 11 to like 1 o'clock in the morning every single week. We have to literally try to think of stuff to say no to because the whole deal of the Monday morning calls for me to train our salespeople. That's what we do, right? So I'm like, okay, what's the objection? Like, what do we say? Like, my leg's broken? Like, what? It's stupid because there literally is none. There's no objection. Well, let me think about it. Okay, good. Think about it while you're using it. Do you make a decision on buying a car looking at the brochure or driving it? Test driving it. Test driving it. Okay, good. Test drive this. Do you make a decision on buying the iPhone looking at it in the store or looking at it online? Usually looking at it on the store, right? The 10 or the 8 Plus. I bought the 8 Plus. Why? I didn't like the 10's button. If I would have looked at it online, I would have never known. The only way you look at it is if you hold it and you feel it and you see, right? I'm asking you to apply the same logic here. That's it. Okay, so again, there's literally no objection. If you guys can think of any, you can say them and at the end, and we'll definitely go over them. So this builds a $97 a month recurring revenue. Sales process literally takes minutes. 0 hours of setup time, and it lasts forever. 0 hours of advice time. I can sell as much as I want. 80% of the people we talk to buy it, and the asset grows in value over time. Rule number 2, I don't have to personally be involved in the business at all if I don't want to be. That creates time freedom. I'm a huge fisherman. I talked about that before. That's me fishing. I don't know what day it is, but I don't fish on the weekends because that's when everybody else fishes, right? So that's probably a Tuesday or a Wednesday or whatever, because I could do that because I created time freedom in my life by creating the right income streams in my life. Money is the most important thing because it buys time, frees up my time, right? So I created the right income streams in my life, this being a major one of them, and I'm able to do the things I want to do during the day when everyone else is sitting at their 9-to-5 job, and I get the lake to myself or the beach to myself, or I could go out on the boat and there's nobody in the bay or the inlets at all because I'm the only one out there, right? And the retired people. On the right there is my daughter. That's the first week of every summer we do the Matt Martin Foundation Hockey Camp here on Long Island. That's her with former Toronto Maple Leaf Matt Martin, now back on the Islanders, and a good buddy of mine, Mitch Marner, on the left. Excellent hockey player, by the way. On the right-hand side there is my daughter's playing softball, and that's field day. So why am I showing you these pictures, right? This is usually where the house goes in or the Ferrari or the mega yacht or whatever. The reason why I'm showing you this is because this is the stuff that really matters. Ferraris, I had a guy tell me one time when I was very young, I was probably about 18, 19 years old. He said, you can make all the money in the world, but those dollar bills, those $100 bills, they're not coming to your funeral. The Ferrari's not coming either. The guy that sold you the car, he ain't coming. The guy that rented you the boat, he ain't coming. The guy that rented you the house for the day so you can shoot your Facebook ad, he ain't coming. They're not coming. You got to do the things that really matter, and these are the things that really matter. So that's why I'm showing them to you. That's my daughter out in Montauk. That's me and my girlfriend out on the boat. Okay, so I sell stuff all the time, not because I have to, but because I love it, and because I truly believe that in order to be the best of the best, you have to do things every single day. So rule number 2, you should never have to be selling stuff if you don't want to and you don't love to do it. You should be out there building your business, and the bottom line is you're probably not good enough. And I'm not saying that to hurt anybody's feelings or be mean. I'm saying it to be honest. You're probably not good enough. And the bottom line is there are plenty of people out there willing to sell for you that are professional salespeople. That if you give them the right deal, they're like, okay, whatever. Just pay me money and I'll sell it whenever you want me to sell it. Okay, that's just how business works. So the bottom line is we have to look for those people and incorporate them into our model. Okay, you become if you're the salesperson, if you do all the selling, you become the business and you have no exit at that point. Now I know a lot of you probably aren't thinking about exit strategies right now, but right now is the time to think of exit strategies when you're starting up. Rule number 2: authority creates sales. What does that mean? Authority creates sales. If you can show that you're the authority figure and do 3 or 4 other things, you have a much better shot at closing the deal as opposed to someone who just does the 3 or 4 other things that we'll talk about in part number 2 and has no authority whatsoever. Okay, so the more authority somebody has, and I'm not talking about like fake authority or becoming an expert or any of that stuff. I'm talking about real authority. Okay, those people close deals. So this is probably a bad example, and half the room probably hates me, half the room probably love me for saying this. But the bottom line is Donald Trump closes deals. Not because he's a great salesperson, because he's the president of the United States. Massive authority, right? The CEO of a company is going to close a lot of deals. Not because he's a great salesperson. He could be, but because he's the CEO of the company. He knows he can influence easily because he has the authority behind him. Groups have massive authority. Okay, so if you're a member of a group, let's say you're a member of the Rotary Club, or you're a member of the, Knights of Columbus, or whatever, it's a golf club, whatever it is. If the leader of that group says, I really like this thing, we should do it, most of the time, the people underneath him fall in line. Why? Because authority creates sales, and the leaders of a group have massive authority. They want to be part of the group, so they just follow along. And all this is going to come together in a second, I promise. And they already know what they're doing when it comes to closing the deal and getting their people to get in line and do what they got to do. All right, so this is why we use all groups to do all of the selling for us. Okay, we use groups to give away our service for us. So groups like the Chamber of Commerce, Okay, we have a relationship with the Chamber of Commerce. We have chambers all over the country, and these people are actively out there selling our services for our members. So somebody comes on and they start doing this model, right? They go out and they get a Chamber of Commerce with 2,000 people in it. They give the tool to the Chamber of Commerce, and then the Chamber sells that tool to all of their members for them. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. You saw a picture of, I believe we showed Shelly Benton before, right? 1,200 customers in one shot. Marcus, I think we'll show soon, or we showed him before, 900 customers in one shot. How do they do that? Because they're focusing on groups. They're focusing on the right people, like the Rotary Club or Better Business Bureau. We're rated A- by the Better Business Bureau, and the minus drives me crazy, by the way. BNI groups, okay? So the bottom line is when a Chamber of Commerce does something, the members of that chamber fall in line. When the BNI does something, the BNI members fall in line. When the Rotary Club does something, the club itself, the members of that club fall in line. Okay, and we've proven this over and over and over again because this is what almost all of our people do. They go out and they get one group, they give our tool to the group uses the tool, and then the group pitches the tool to the rest of the people in the thing, and you don't have to do anything else. Just give it away one time and you're done. Literally done. I mean, think about it. 1,200 people in one Chamber of Commerce. Do the math. Just do the math on that. And you don't even have to sell it. They do it for you. It's awesome. All right, rule number 2, you must align yourself with people, with great people who are already connected in the industry, like a Chamber of Commerce, like a BNI group, like Better Business Bureau, like a Rotary Club, like when I was in high school and I was 15 years old and there was a girl in one of my classes, her dad dropped her off in one of those fancy cars where the doors go up. I don't know if that's a Lamborghini, Ferrari, Aston Martin, whatever the hell it was, but the doors went up in the air. I became friends with her so that I could find out what her father did for a living. His name was Ron. He hired me at Stratton Oakmont as a cold caller intern, and I ended up staying in business with him. He was my 24. He was my manager, like a middle manager type guy. He was my manager for the next 8 years of my life, and I made an astronomical amount of money with that guy. I would have never done that if I didn't know someone connected in the industry. I couldn't just walk into that place. Nobody could. Okay? When I went into the internet marketing business, like I said before, the first webinar I ever did was with Mike Filsaime. If I didn't have that connection, I would have never been able to do that. Okay? So it does matter. Who you know matters. It does. You know, people always say, oh, it's not who you know, or it's not what you know, or who you know, whatever the stupid saying is. It's true. Who you know definitely matters. And I've used that in every business that I've ever been in. All right? If you know the right people, you can advance a lot quicker. Rule number 3, you only need about 10 or so leads per week to make a 5-figure per month business. So I want to just go over basically the whole entire process, okay, so you understand it, and then we're going to go into some math. So number 1, we pick a target. Now, there's really 2 ways you can do this. You can go after a group or you can go after individuals. We recommend you go after a group because a group does the selling for you. If you go after individuals, it's the same. Really, the process is the same. The only difference is you're doing one-off sales the whole entire time, or you're giving away to one person every time, as opposed to giving it away to 1,500 people at one time. Big difference, okay? So you pick a target, you give them the service for free, you provide nothing, and you let the service and the authority do the selling for you, okay? So one of the beauties of the tool that you guys saw before is that it proves very easily and quickly. I think I say this in another slide later on, but I'll just go into it now because it came up in my mind. It proves very easily. So if you do SEO, right, or you do something like that, and I always use that as an example because I know a lot of people do it. If you do SEO, you probably have made the call or got the call where you're 3 months into the deal and they're like, oh, I'm still on page 3, man. Like, I don't know what to do, right? 3 months, okay? This tool proves itself in 3 hours. Think about it. I sign somebody up for a free thing. I give it to them, put it on their computer, right? My team, the team that we work with here, they put it onto the computer for them, coach them through how to use it. It takes about 15, 20 minutes. And literally right after that happens, they're putting in email addresses and phone numbers and getting reviews on Google. How awesome is that? It proves itself in like an hour. It's amazing. Instead of waiting months or weeks, that's why I own a Facebook ad agency as well, full disclosure. That's why I love Facebook ads. Because I could sign someone up for a Facebook ad contract, and I'm proving myself, not as quickly as this, but usually the second day I could show them results. Okay? So if it's something quick like that, it's very easy usually to gain trust and authority with them. So let's quickly do some math. I have to hop out of this for a second and go into here, and I have to fix my screen share to do that. It's going to look weird for a second, I promise, but I'll fix it in 1 second. Hang on. All right, there we go. There's the weird part. Now let's fix it. Okay, so what this is something that I didn't make this. I'm not going to lie to you. I had someone make this for my company because I'm not smart enough to program all this stuff into Excel. But basically what this is, every one of my employees has to do this. And it's just prospecting math. That's all it really is. And I have them pick a target, and they say, okay, I want to make $10,000 this month. Right? I'm just showing you how to use it. So $10,000 this month, and they make $500 a deal, let's say. Right? If they close 40% of the people on the paid service and 40% of the people on the free service, they got to talk to 6 people a day. That's the way it works. Okay. Now, the real number, $97 a month, right? That's what we were talking about from the beginning. If you want to make $5,000 a month and you close 40% of the people on the paid service, by the way, you don't ever sell that. Okay, we do.
Hey, Kenny, we can't see what you're doing. It's kind of, we just see like a mirror effect.
Okay, let me see if I can turn that off again. Sometimes the screen sharing is a little weird. Now you see the calculator?
Yes, there you go.
Perfect. Okay, so this is something I'll just quickly explain again. This is something that I make every one of my employees do. Every one of my employees, by the way, is connected to revenue. And if you don't have a target, if you're a salesperson or whatever, if you don't have a target, you're never going to hit it. You got to have a target to hit it. So I always tell them, income target, what is it? $5,000 a month. Okay, what are you selling? $97 a month. That's what you make. Okay, so if you make $97 a month and 40% of the people you talk to, and again, 80% of the people say yes to us. So I'm cutting that in half for you. Worst case scenario. If you're not giving away at least 40% of the people you talk to, come to me and let me know, because that's really terrible. 40% of the people at least are going to say yes to you, and the paid service is actually 100%, and I'm going to get through to that in a second. But we've never lost a client once they sign up for this, ever, in the history of our company. So again, we'll go into all that in a second. But the bottom line is we're going 40% on the free service. So you walk into somebody and you say, hey, this is free, here, take it. And 40% of those people are going to say yes to you. That's what we're assuming. 80% say yes to us. 40% will say yes to you, using low numbers. And after they take it and they start getting reviews in, and they go from a 3 to a 5 in 10 days, and they go from 2 reviews to 50 reviews in a week, we're assuming that only 40% of those people are going to keep it. In our business, 100% of people keep it. We've never lost a customer, ever. Okay? So we're cutting the numbers a little short. But here's the bottom line. $5,000 a month, not a lot of money. It's not. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a lot of money. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're going to buy fancy cars and clothes and houses with it. You're not. But I will tell you this. For most people that are watching this right now with us, that are in this room, that's life-changing money. And the way that the reason why I know that is because I do pretty well for myself. I don't go into my financial numbers and I don't show all that stuff off. But if someone came to me and said, I can add $5,000 a month to your bottom line, and all you got to do is give away a free thing to somebody, I'm going to do it. I mean, I'm just going to do it, right? $5,000 a month is $5,000 a month. Whether you make $1 million a year, whether you make $50,000 a year, it's still an extra $5,000 a month. It's still good, right? So it's not a lot of money. But here's the bottom line. If I told you that all it took to make $5,000 a month was to talk to 16 people for 30 days, would you do it? Email, Facebook, Skype, video, PowerPoint presentations, telephone, knocking on a door. 16 people, not for the rest of your life, not every day, for 30 days. And you built a $5,000 a month income stream just by committing for 30 days. That's it. So August 15th to September 15th, you talk to 16 people a day, make $5,000 a month for the rest of your life. Okay, for the life of the accounts, but we've never lost an account. So again, $5,000 a month. Are you willing to talk to 16 people? Let's say you're a little bit more ambitious and you want to make $25,000 a month. See, this is why nobody ever does the math. 81 people you got to talk to for 30 days. That's it. 30 days, you got to talk to 81 people. And some of you are probably like, oh, yeah, that's crazy, 81 people. Listen, when I was in the stock business, I was calling 800 people a day. Now, I cheated because I was on a 5-line auto dialer, right? And I only talked to actually people that answered, but it was a lot easier. But I was talking to at least 800 people a day. 81 people a day is nothing if you're building a business. And if you're focused on revenue-generating activities, which you should be focused about 90% of your time on. Most of you guys are building websites, building email lists, all that other stuff. Focus all your time on revenue generating activities. 81 people, that's like a 2-hour deal. If you want to really crank it up and you want to work 8-10 hours a day to build, which you should be doing when you're building, right? If you want to work 8-10 hours a day, 81 people is nothing. Especially when you consider you only have to do it for 30 days, and then that's it. That's the beauty of recurring income, recurring revenue, right? You work on a recurring revenue model, you only do it one time, and that's it. It's over. That keeps paying you over and over and over again. Let's say you're really ambitious and you want to make $1 million a year. Not saying anyone here will do that. That's a little much. Not saying anyone here will do that. Not saying anyone here wants to do that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. 268 people a day for 30 days, and you make $1 million a year. Now, are these numbers going to be perfect? Never. They're never going to be perfect. But are they pretty close? Yes. They're actually very close. Shockingly close when you use the calculator and you do it. They're shockingly close. Are you actually going to make $83,333 if you talk to 268 people? No, maybe you make 85 grand. Maybe you make 81, 79, maybe if it's like a little bit of a rough month. But you're going to be right around that mark, right? It's pretty close. So the other cool thing about this calculator too is we have our daily goal sheet that actually transitions over from the calculator. So every one of my people has to do this every single day, and their only job is to contact 268 people. That's it. It's not. I don't want them on Facebook. I don't want them tweeting. Right? I don't want them Instagramming. I don't want them jabbing and right. I just want them right hooking all day. And then when you right hook them on the ground, you choke hold them, and that's it. It's over. Right? I want them battling all day long. That's it. There's no fun in games. It's just you do your 268 people. You pitch them hard. You pitch them right. You pitch them good. You close them hard, and you're done. That's it. And if you're willing to do that for 30 days, it's $1 million a year. Now again, that's a lot of money. Right? $1 million a year is a good income. Very good income. $2,500 a month. That's a life-changing income for a lot of people. Not a lot of money, but it's life-changing income for a lot of people. You're in Middle America. You're a single mom, or you're home, and while your husband's out working or whatever. $2,500 a month, that pays your mortgage, pays your cars, right? 8 people a day for 30 days. 8 people a day for 30 days. $2,500 a month. All right, let's get out of the math. Let me just show you one more thing. Really. Yeah, go ahead.
Andy, before you jump away from that, just to clarify for people, because there were a few questions about it. Okay. You're talking because you've been doing this, you know how many people you have to talk to make it happen. So if you talk to just 16 people a day through different forms of contact, you know that's going to result in 6 people getting the giveaways, and that's going to ultimately result in you getting 3 deals per day. Is that right?
Well, yes and no. We adjust the closing ratio. So if you look here, in the blue box, these are the only numbers we play with. All this stuff is done overseas by some technologically advanced dude that I don't understand any of it. But all this stuff here this is a closing ratio. So if you know after a month, if you talk to 100 people over the course of a month and 80 of them take your free thing, well, then this ratio is 80%, right? Now you only got to talk to 4 people. If you know out of those 80 people, every single one of them kept it, this is 100%. Now you got to talk to 2 people a day. Right? So it's hard data based on our membership and based on the experiences that we've had. So I'm going real. Our closing ratio across our group is about 80%. The people that we talk to and we pitch, right, 80% of them say yes to the free thing, right? Once they're on the free thing, if they're getting results, they keep it. We've never lost a client. So our retention ratio is 100%. I'm not going to put that on here, though, because that's ridiculous and no one's going to believe it. So I do 40 and 40 just to demonstrate the fact that even in the worst case scenario, $2,500 a month in recurring revenue. If you walk in and only 40% of people say yes to a free thing, all you got to do is talk to 8 people a day, and you're going to be right around the $2,500 mark. And you can, again, as you get your real data, maybe your closing ratio is 60%. Okay, good. So now you got to talk to 5 people. Maybe you've realized that half of the people that take the free thing actually end up staying. Then that's 50%. So now you got to talk to 4 people. Right? So it's based on hard data that we've gathered through our membership base. And again, this is something that I started off using this just a piece of paper and a pen, just writing down like what we had to do. But yeah, the best way to do this is to figure out your real data and then input it for yourself. But we start off usually at 40% on each number.
Great. So I know that some people have already worked with software to get businesses, reviews, things like that. And I think want to see, how this works and as far as what their role is going to be with this.
What their role is going to be with the software?
Yeah, with your system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the member, they don't get involved with the software at all. That's not, you guys shouldn't be talking about software or any of that stuff ever. And when I train you how to sell stuff, you're never going to mention any of that stuff. Listen, I sold cars for a year and a half. I sold Hyundais. I didn't know the difference between a Hyundai Elantra and a Hyundai Sonata at all. I still don't. And I was selling 30 cars a month. I don't know. Because product knowledge is useless for the most part. You need to know the basics, right? What are you going to do? You're going to get better reviews. Why? Because 85% of people say they want better reviews. You want more business or you want less business? I don't talk about software. I don't talk about none of that stuff matters. Again, the first slide that we talked about, guys, was what do they really want? They really want the result, right? If you walk in there and you start talking about the Google review tool and the software and all, you're going to lose them. If you go in there and you talk to them about more customers, more money, here's the data, it doesn't cost anything, try it. Let me think about it. Good. Think about it while you're using it. That's the best way to think about it. Agree? Agree. Good. Sign up. It's not that hard. And again, anybody in here, if at the end, if you want to, throw out objections. It's fine. It's all good. And I will teach you how to overcome them live on this call. No matter what you say, it doesn't matter. So money replenishes itself. We have to make a decision at some point. Do we want to spend time or do we want to spend money? I believe money is the most important thing in the world. I said it over and over and over again, and I say it every day because money we can create. We can create income. You don't want to actually create money. That's illegal. But you can create income, and then out of that, you can free up time because now you have money to invest in other things, right? You can invest in other employees or whatever, okay? So income creates time. No matter what you do in your life, the income that you have or the money that you have is always going to replenish itself. I don't care what you do or where you come from, it's always going to come back. You're going to get another paycheck next week. You're going to get another check from the government if you're on like some sort of assistance or whatever. No matter what it is or what part of life you're at, it doesn't matter. Money is all over the place and people are begging to give it to you every single day. Like literally, we just in New York City, they just voted in some woman who's like promising free food and healthcare and jobs and houses and cars and boats and yachts and planes and everything else. They're trying to give you everything they can. There's no way to stop it. There's no way. So you have to start thinking like a 1%er as opposed to a 99%er. There's a reason why everybody says, oh, you got to give tax cuts to the 99%. Why? Because they go out and buy TVs. Yeah, because they're stupid. 1%ers don't do that. If you give me a tax cut, you're not getting any of my money. I'm going to invest it in something you're never going to see it. Right? Because you got to change your mindset. That's where it starts. Okay? So no matter what you do, money is always going to come back to you. So we've been here for about an hour or so, and I'm sure you can agree that what we talked about is worth your time. A lot of information here you could take out and use it right away, no matter what. Right? A lot of the stuff that we talk about, the sales tactics that we used, talking about which one would you choose, you guys could take that in any business model that you're in right now, you could take that and use it. But obviously we can't cover everything in an hour-long webinar. Even if I sat down with you for a whole entire day or even a week, there would be no possible way that I could train you to a point where you would be able to go out there and do this all on your own. So what we've done is we've come up with a special offer so that you can get everything you need to know starting tonight. But before we talk about that, don't fall back on old habits. I promise you, because I write a lot of them, so I know, I promise you, you're going to get an email tomorrow morning about some YouTube ninja hacking thing, and it's going to be all fancy and crazy, and it's going to sound like the greatest thing in the world. It's going to be $7.97, and you're going to be tempted to buy it. But you cannot fall back on old habits. You have to focus on production and not consumption. Consumption is okay. We all consume. But you have to produce more than you consume. And a lot of people, especially in the internet game, a lot of people consume everything, but then they don't produce anything. Okay, so you have to make sure you're doing both. The make money online trap. Everybody falls into this, myself included. All right, you buy something, a system, a product, a method, whatever you want to call it. You watch the training and you feel like you're doing something. You ever have that where like Tony Robbins is a master at this, by the way, and I love him to death. Like Awaken the Giant Within saved my life when I was a teenager. I love the guy. But he's a master at this. If you go through training and all you're doing is like filling out checklists and filling out worksheets and all that other stuff, you feel like you're getting somewhere by just doing the training part. But then when the training's over, you don't do anything else, right? And we fall into that trap all the time, and that's how a lot of products are created. Spend days or weeks or months setting something up, and then you move on to something else. Why? Because your motivation is the same as the business owner. You're doing something because you want the income out of it. Right? Or the result. If you go to the gym, you want to go to the gym to bulk up, or you want to go to the gym to lose weight. If you go to the gym for a month and you don't lose any weight, you're going to give up. right? That's just human nature. So the same thing applies here. You're buying something or investing into something because you want to get the result, which in this case is income, money, business, whatever you want to call it, right? And if you don't see that result in a reasonable amount of time, and I'm going to tell you what my definition of reasonable amount of time is in a second, but if you don't see that result in a reasonable amount of time, you move on to something else very, very quickly. My reasonable amount of time is the second you start it. Now, people will say to me all the time, oh, that's crazy. You can't, you got to put the time and effort in. You can't expect instant results. Why is that exactly? Why can't I expect? Okay, so here's the way I think, okay? And this is a real world example. It's a failed example, but it's a real world example. My daughter, when she was in kindergarten, she's 10 now, so it was 5 years ago. My daughter was in kindergarten, and my first and only child, so I didn't know anything about any of this stuff. She walks in, home from school, she had the packet. Now, if you're a parent, you know what the packet is, right? The packet with the wrapping paper and the pretzels and the chocolate and everything else. And I'm looking at this packet, and I'm like, I don't want to buy any of this stuff. This is the stupidest thing ever. This wrapping paper is in Walmart for $1. It's like $15 in the packet. So I'm looking at the packet, and I'm saying to myself, I gotta buy something because I don't want my kid to be the only one who comes in with nothing on the sheet. So I gotta buy something. So I buy this $15 thing for whatever it was, $20, whatever it was, for the pretzels and the wrapping paper. And I go in the next day to the PTA president, and I'm like, let me ask you a question. If there was a way, now I don't know if I could do this or not, I'm just throwing this out there, but if there was a way that we could do this packet thing, but instead of having the wrapping paper that nobody wants, we actually had products and services that people loved. And it was cheaper than what they bought it for in Walmart. If I could come up with something like that, would you at least give me 5 minutes to explain it to you? Or would you at least listen to what I have? Yes. Okay, now I'm on to something. What did I do the next hour? Drop my daughter off from school, what did I do? I went out and I created a list of every PTA president I could find on the internet on Long Island. And what did I do next? I called every single one of them. Didn't get through to half of them. And then what did the 50% that I did get through say? Maybe half of those people were like, yes, that's awesome. Maybe 25% were like, nah, maybe if it's something that we liked. And 25% hung up on me, right? I'm making up numbers, but it was somewhere around there probably. But I knew I was onto something right away. So what was I doing? I was creating results the second I started. And I'm not offending anybody, but it's just the truth. What the internet mindset people would have done was they would have said, okay, let's create a website. Let's go and find the product, and let's go do research, and let's go on manta.com. And get out there and get in front of the people that are qualified to buy whatever it is that you're doing. Day one, minute one, hour one. I have an idea at 9 a.m. I'm selling it by 11. I don't need an LLC for 8 hours to fill out a little paper. You don't need any of that stuff. Get out there and get in front of people who are qualified to buy whatever it is that you're selling. That should be 95% of your work. If you're spending other time doing other stuff, you're wasting it. So if you're not profitable with what you're doing instantly, you got to get out. And the people that tell you, oh, you got to give it time to work. We're split testing 45 different things. Listen, they're lying to you. I'm just going to be honest with you. Most of the time they are. Okay? If you're not seeing results right away, there's a problem. Right? Either you're not doing the right stuff, you're not focused on revenue generating activities, or whatever model you're in is just broken. It's not the right model. Okay? All right. And there you go. You must spend at least 90% of your time on revenue generating activities. And think about this like any way you want, right? If a McDonald's opened up in town and they didn't see anyone coming in the door until month number 3, how long would they be open? They wouldn't be. That's the answer to that question. They see people coming in the door the second they open the door, right? And that's what I define starting as. The second you start prospecting for business is when you've actually started. You could be in business, quote unquote, for 6 months while you're building your website, building your Facebook fan page, getting your graphics done on Fiverr, getting your t-shirts, your ping pong table for your office, and all that other stupid stuff. But if you don't have a customer, you're not in business, right? You start the day you start prospecting. And when you start prospecting, if you spend 90% of your work time on prospecting, you're going to see results right away. So what you're getting, 6-part intensive training. We're going to teach you the entire process from start to finish with me, and it is intensive. It is. If you think I'm crazy on a call like this is nothing. Come to a Monday morning call at 11 a.m. I don't want to scare anybody, but listen, I'm straight and to the point. And we have a lot of fun, though. So it is what it is. 6-part intensive training. We have the Quick Start Series clients 24 hours. Remember, if you're not profitable from day number 1, leave. You have to. You're not doing the right thing, or the process is broken. So we have the client 24 hours Quick Start Series because we want to get you started right away. Our chamber model. We use the Chamber of Commerce as an example because that's what a lot of our members do. okay? But it could be applied to any group in the world that deals with businesses. Toastmasters, BNI, Better Business Bureau, whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. Any kind of group that has business owners as their members, this could be used for. Again, Chamber of Commerce is the example that we use because that's what most of our members do. But it could be any group in the world, doesn't matter. You have our slide decks, PowerPoint slides, video sales letters, emails. I have a video in the membership area that demos the software. Okay, I say my name. I say, hi, my name is Kenny. I'm a manager here, and then I go right into the demonstration. I show them that I screencast my phone on the video, so they can watch as the number gets put into their side of the software. The text message comes through to their customer, and how the customer sees it, how they see it, everything. We give you the whole entire PowerPoint presentation for any kind of group that you ever would want to sell to, any kind of individual that you ever wanted to sell to. All you have to do is literally walk in, show them over Skype, send them a video, whatever it is, and just go through the things that I go through. I spent Monday morning telling people you have to say exactly what I tell you to say. Read the slides. Don't go off on your own. Don't think outside the box. Do it exactly the way that I show you how to do it, and it's going to work. Those are the people that see the results with this. They do it exactly the way that we show them how to do it. So just read what I give you and you'll be fine. Total value, $4,488. Who does this work for? Obviously, entrepreneurs and business owners. If you are, let me just open these up real quick. If you're someone who sells to business owners, right? If you're someone who does any kind of offline or local marketing, whatever you guys are calling it these days, if you do that type of thing, at 7:30, you had an excuse. Now you don't. Now, what I'm talking about is in terms of reviews, right? In terms of reviews. If you're doing search engine optimization, if you're doing Facebook ads, if you're doing web development, and you're not offering, at least offering, okay? If you're not offering some sort of review system, process, tool, software, whatever, to your clients, you are doing them a disservice. The data is there. You can look it up for yourself. Look at any online survey about online reviews, and the data will tell you they are the most important thing when it comes to a customer making their buying decision. Number one, not maybe someday in the future, right now, and it's only going to get better and better or more and more as we go forward. Okay? In my opinion, I'm sure there's a lot of things that go into this, but in my opinion, that's what makes Amazon Amazon. I can go on there and I know that I'm getting a good thing. Right? I was in Walmart today. Again, I'm going to San Diego in a couple of days. I need to get a new carry-on bag. So I went over to Walmart. My daughter had to get some stuff there for a camera or whatever. I went in there and I was looking at a backpack. I looked on Amazon and I was like, I like the one on Amazon better. And there's reviews there. There's 400 people said it was awesome. Bought the one on Amazon. I'm not going to pick something random off a shelf when I have the data right in front of me telling me what other people's experiences are. Okay, so if you're an offline consultant, an offline marketer, and you're not offering something in relation to a process on getting reviews for people, then you're doing them a disservice. And again, at 7:30, you had an excuse because you didn't know, but now you know. Now it could be this, it could be something else, it could be whatever you want, but it has to be. You have to offer some sort of review process, system, or tool to the people that you work with. Okay, and if you currently sell anything, this is the perfect place to be. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't like to brag about anything, really. But when it comes to selling stuff, there's not a question or anything that I can't help you with. And I give you the chance at the end of this tonight where you can open up your microphone, you can throw anything out at me, and I will teach you live in front of everybody here how to overcome it. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter. All right? And I'll tell you how I do that and why I do that in part number 2. David, another one of our members, 15 customers in one shot. You see the email there. Thanks for the proposal. I have reviewed it, and it looks good to me. I will sign it when I return from vacation in early August, and then we will get started getting the free training session. So this is a Chamber of Commerce that David closed. 1,500 people in one shot, and now those people are going to be selling that tool for him. Shelly Benton, same thing. I love Shelly, by the way. I'm going to tell a quick story about her, very quick. She was so afraid to walk into her first deal. She literally, they called an ambulance because her heart was like going crazy. It's a true story. And if you come on board with us tonight and you get involved in this, you can meet her in the Facebook group. She'll tell you all about it. She's always on our calls on Monday. She's always on our calls on Thursday night. One deal, 1,200 customers. It's not done yet, but we're working really, really hard to get this one done for her. And it will be done very soon. She's an awesome lady. And if you get into the Facebook group and you start talking to her, I'm telling you right now, she's a pretty inspirational person. I love her to death.
Kenny, I've been quiet up to now. Just wanted to jump in. If you had not told that story, I would have stopped the webinar till you did. So
yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm going to shut up again and carry on.
No, it's okay. The Shelly Benton story, me and Scott both love that. Everyone loves Shelly. Shelly's like the mom in the membership group. So we had two choices.
I love the picture of Shelly, how she was just, in her home, not in an office, just in her home, off to the side, just like, everyone else is going to be doing here too.
Yeah, she's just hanging out. She's down in Florida. I'm not going to give her exact location because then that's going to give away her deal. But she's in Florida, South Florida, and she's just normal person, normal everyday person, just hanging out. She was on a training just like this, and she took our advice, and now she's out there doing it. So we had two choices when we were putting this together. We can go as cheap as possible and try to sell it on volume, but that wouldn't be worth it for us. So what we decided to do was go with option number 2, which requires a little more of investment on your part, but gives you all the resources that virtually guarantee your success. So you're probably thinking, Kenny, you were talking about not providing any services. You were talking about all that the whole entire time. Where does that come into play? You haven't explained it. What's the catch? Okay, so first of all, the tool that we use to get reviews for our clients has never lost a paying client. We've never lost a paying client ever since we've been in business. Okay, we've never lost one. 6,000 plus accounts, never lost one. So we're going to take that tool and we are going to fulfill every deal for you. It's limited to the first 10 people. We fulfill every single deal for you. So literally all you have to do is give the thing away for free and we take it from there. And people ask me all the time, like, what do I do next? The answer to that question is give another one away for free because we're doing the fulfillment. Don't ever call that guy again. And that's really what got, when Scott brought me this deal, when he showed me this, that's originally why I decided to join him on this journey. Because I was like, wait a second, I could sell as much as I want and I never have to talk to the person again. He's like, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, okay, dude, I'm ready. Let's do it. Because that's awesome. That's amazing. Like even in the stock business, when I sold stock for a while, we had to call our clients back, second trade, third trade, fourth trade, fifth trade. It was hard, right? Mortgage business, same thing. We had to go to closings. We had to go. This is nothing. Like it reminds me of the car business. You sell a car and you never see that person again for the most part. They come in for an oil change every once in a while, whatever. But for the most part, you never see them again. It's great. And this is the same deal. We fulfill everything for you. $2,000 value, limited to the first 10 people. And you're probably thinking, I can't sell anything. And you're probably right, to be honest with you. Most people that I run into on calls like this, they can't sell anything. But they're a lot of fun to work with, especially the ones that are willing to try. Because if you're willing to try, that's all I ask for. If you're willing to get out there in front of people, I can turn you into a machine. But if you're not willing to leave your house, I can't help you. Unless you're willing to pick up the phone. That's a different story. But if you're willing to get in front of people, I can make you into a monster. But if you're not willing to talk to anybody, I can't help. So even if you're bad at it, if you're willing to get out there and do it, you're in the right place. So we already taught you how to give away the thing for free, right? We already taught you how to do that. Basically, we just say, here's where you are now. Here's where you need to be. How about we do it for free over the next 30 days? But even if you're not comfortable doing that, we close every deal for you. Done for you sales, done for you fulfillment, limited to the first 10 people. It's a $2,000 value. Guys, listen, this is a truly done with you program. Done with you program. Another funny Shelly Benton story really quickly. She was posting in Facebook and she was writing something, and Scott said, I'm totally blaming this on him, even though I think I said the same thing. He wrote back, he's like, Shelly, this, we're done with you. That's what he wrote. And she got really upset. She was like, what do you mean you're done with me? What did I do wrong? He's like, no. We mean like we're doing it with you. This is a done with you program. We do it with you. Scott recently, a couple of days ago, or last week or 2 weeks ago, drove 20 hours round trip to close a deal for somebody. He went from North Carolina to Nashville, I think it was. 20 hours round trip to close one deal for a member of ours. So when we say it's done with you, this is truly a done with you program. It's a partnership between us and you guys. And we're all like one big family in the Facebook group too. So again, some of the results, some of the payments coming in from the last couple trainings that we did.
And while you're taking a pause to breathe, I'm going to Charlotte on Tuesday next week. And I believe I'm heading to Florida near the end of next week as well. So when we say done with you, we actually mean it.
Yeah, just so you guys know too, just so we're very clear. like if you're on Long Island, if you're in New York, I'm working in talks with, we're going to be working with one of the people that are in Queens. I don't go all over the place. Like Scott's a maniac. I don't do that stuff. But if you're in New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, something like that, and I can get to you, that's awesome. So here's the bottom line, guys. And again, I hate to brag, but this is just the truth. My salespeople know how to close deals. All right, they just do. And I don't know what else to say about it. I started my career, thankfully, and I'm lucky for this, and I'm grateful for it, and it was just pure luck. I started my career in the best sales organization in the world ever, and I got the best sales training available to anybody, and I still use all of it today. My salespeople know how to close deals better than anybody in the world, and they're going to be closing your deals for you. All you have to do is give away the free thing, and you're good to go. So the bottom line is your only job is to say yes tonight, give away free trials, and we collect the money. So what you're getting, again, 6-part intensive training, 24-hour clients, 24 hours, whatever the hell that's called, $500 value, Chamber of Commerce training, $5,000 value, bonus appointment machine. I'm currently selling that. You can go on my website right now and buy that for $1,000. It's a corporate training program for phone rooms, best appointment training in the world. You're gonna learn how to book appointments better than any living person on earth, except for the people that take this with you. Okay, because this right here, when you talk about appointment setting and propaganda sequences combined together, it's gonna blow your mind. That alone is worth double what we got here. We fulfill everything for you. $2,000 value. We close every deal for you. Total value $8,482. If all this did was get you 10 people at $97 a month, would it be worth it? Right? You take 10 accounts. And they pay you $97 a month. That's $970 per month. And we never lost an account. So I'm going to say pretty much forever. Would it be worth it? If all it did was smack you on face and keep you on track. I think the biggest problem that most people have is that they just don't focus on anything. They hop from thing to thing all over again, like the make money online trap we talked about before. If all this did was get you away from the job you're currently working at, would it be worth it? If all it did was allow you to stop getting chained to your desk every day, like I was for years in the consulting business, making tons of money, but I couldn't do anything with it because I was stuck at my desk all day. So let's say you give away 10 free trials and you quit. That'd be kind of dumb, to be honest with you. But it would create an income stream for you at $970 a month for life. If that were the case, would it be worth it to pay us $970 to close and provide for you one time? So let me put that another way. If you had $1,000 to invest in a business, right, and you saved it up and you walked into your local town and you saw a bagel store, and you knew the guy at the bagel store because you go there every day or a couple times a week, and it said for sale on the front. And you walk in and you say, how much you selling the business for? And he's like $1,000. And you're thinking, I got $1,000 saved. That's pretty awesome. And you ask him and you say, how much do you make a month in the bagel store? He's like $1,000 a month profit. Do you buy that deal? The answer to that question is yes. Every single person in the room buys that. You better. If you don't, leave, because that's crazy. Most businesses aren't profitable. If you buy a business and you're profitable in the first 2 years, you're pretty lucky. Most of the time, there's a multiple applied, so you're not going to be profitable for a couple of years. That's just the way it works when you're buying or selling a business. So if you're profitable in month number 2, that's amazing, and that's kind of how this is set up here. After the first month, every single month after that is pure profit, and that's why it's a killer deal at $970, and that's why so many people want to work with us. So the general public price, $2,000. That's when we start running our Facebook ads, or we launch it to the general public. And the first week that we do that, the initial launch price is going to be $1,000. So what we're going to do tonight is give you a $500 discount if, and I'm probably one of the few people who are really, really serious about this, if you are willing to share your case study with us after you applied the model. And I literally, you can ask Scott, we hunt people down. So if you're not willing to leave the case study and tell us how you did and what you're doing and all that stuff, not for you. Okay, we literally hunt people down. So we're willing to give you the discount, but you have to give us something in return, which is after you've applied the model, like Shelly, like Marcus, like some other people you're going to see, like the results that you saw before. After you apply the model, just tell us how you did it, what you did, how much you made, how much you lost, how horrible it was, how great it was, bad or good, positive or negative, whatever. Just tell us what you did, and if you're willing to do that, and you promise us tonight that you're willing to do that, then we're willing to give you a $500 discount. You can go to kennycannatraining.com/Matt, $497 to get involved in the program. You get everything that we talked about, and there's some other stuff I'm going to add in a second here too. You can go to kennycannatraining.com/Matt, and then it's just $147 per month after 60 days. You get the first 60 days for free. $147 per month after 60 days for us to close and fulfill 10 accounts. So for the first 60 days, that's free. We close and fulfill every deal that you bring in. All right, so you have all that set up. After the first 60 days, it's $147 for 10 accounts. So we close 10 accounts for you, and that equals $970. And what I'm going to do as well, really quickly here, is share David's thing again. Just kidding. I'll talk about that in a second, but I want to put the button up as well, but I just have to find out where it is. There we go. Okay, so you can go to kennycannontraining.com/Matt to get involved right now, or you can click the button on the side of the screen because I just put it up there. Click the button on the side of the screen, or you can go to kennycannontraining.com/Matt. $497, you get everything that we talked about, and then after 60 days, you're going to have deals by then. If you're not profitable in the right up front, you leave. I told you that already, right? If you're not profitable from day number one, get out. And we're going to make sure that you are, because we have our clients 24 hours thing. We have our training about the Chamber of Commerce. You get one Chamber of Commerce, it's over. You never have to worry about anything ever again. 1,500, 2,000 clients in one shot. Disposable income, you all have it, but some of you spend it on stupid stuff like this. I remember a year ago. It's just about a year ago now. People are like, oh, Bitcoin. It was that like $16,000. It was like multi-level marketing companies coming out as Bitcoin things, and everything on my Facebook feed was about Bitcoin. Now it's $6,000, and everyone's like, oh, well, they're all hiding, right? Nobody's talking about it anymore. So you could do that with your disposable income. You can go out and buy a flat screen TV. You can go out and buy $150 sneakers. I'm wearing sneakers from Walmart that were $10. Swear to God. Actually, these are probably $15. I think these were $14.99. You could buy stupid stuff like that and be a middle-class person if you want to, or you can invest $147 a month after 60 days. This is free for the first 60 days, but after 60 days, every $147 a month that you invest, you get $970 back over and over and over again. Why does that happen? $147 for 10 accounts, $14.70 an account. You sell it for $97. That's what they pay. You give it away for free. Our team comes in, shuts the deal down at $97 a month for you. Okay? So that's $970 for 10 accounts. You pay $147 for 10 accounts. Simple. Right? $14.70 into $97 over and over and over and over and over again. We believe in this so much that we have a double your money back guarantee. Okay? I don't know anyone else who does this. There's probably other people that do. I don't watch every webinar, every product, every offer that's out there, but I don't know anybody who does stuff like this. But we believe in what we do so much, and we know that it works so well, that we are willing to literally double your money back if you follow the training and give away 10 free trials. You give away 10 free trials, and if you don't make at least $970 per month from those 10 free trials in return, we will double the amount that you invested in the program. So tonight it's $497. I don't know why the internet thing is 97 is the sevens at the end. I'm just going to say $500. Tonight is $500, right? If you give away 10 free trials and you don't make $970 per month back from those 10 free trials, we will cut you a check for $1,000. So that would be $500 for your initial investment, and we double that and give you an extra $500. So worst case scenario, you make $500. You make 100% on your investment just for trying it out. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen. We also have a 30-day guarantee. So if for any reason at all, let's say you get in there and you're just like, Kenny, you're really annoying. I don't like you. And you don't want to go along with the training. Okay, fine. Just let us know if you're in the first 30 days, and we'll give you all your money back. And you don't have to trust me. We probably don't even know each other yet. I've been talking for an hour and 30 minutes. You have no idea who the hell I am. That's fine. Don't trust me. I don't want you to. That would be dumb. All of our payments are protected 100% by Stripe. That's our payment processor, and or PayPal, depending on how you pay. Okay, so if you pay through PayPal and you don't believe that we refund your money, PayPal will. But I can tell you this, if we didn't refund people's money, we wouldn't be here anymore. You know, there's a reason why we've been doing this webinar for quite some time now, because when people ask us for a refund, even though it's rare, we give it to them. Because that's the fair thing to do. It's the right thing to do. So, but you don't have to trust me. You don't have to believe me. We are 100% protected by Stripe and PayPal, and both of those services always, as painful as it is sometimes, they always side with the buyer. So if you have any issue at all, you can just shoot us an email, get us on Facebook, whatever, and let us know you want a refund. That's fine. But if there's any problems, you are 100% protected and backed by Stripe and or PayPal, depending on who you decide to invest with tonight. So money is replaceable, time is not. This right here, guys, is why money is the most important thing in the world. Because money can be made. Not literally, because that'll put you in jail. Money can be collected. Let's put it that way. It's a better way to put it. Money can be collected. Income streams can grow. But my daughter's only going to take her first step once. She's only going to get her first hit in softball once. Right? And listen, as painful as this is, parents, you know what I'm talking about. She's only going to have her second grade concert one time. Now, we all hate it. I mean, listen, I'll admit it, right? I will be the first one to admit the concert's painful. The plays are all right, but the concert is just, especially when they do the instruments, it's a freaking nightmare. But that's something that a parent, those are the times that we look back on and cherish, right, when we're 60, 70 years old. So those things are never going to come back. God forbid I was working when my daughter got her first hit in softball or scored her first goal when she was playing on our ice hockey team. God forbid I missed that because I had to work a job that is essentially meaningless. That's horrible. That's horrible that a lot of parents have to make that decision. And I get that's reality. A lot of parents have to make that decision. I can't go to field day because I got to work. I can't go to the play because I got to work. And I get it. You got to pay the bills, man. You got to pay the bills, right? You got to feed them. You got to feed the kid too, right? But the bottom line is if you have the opportunity to create something, well, not only you can create income freedom in your life, but you can also create time freedom in your life where you can do the things you want to do with the people that you want to be with. That's really, really important, right? People talk about passion all the time. Follow your passion. Well, that's BS, okay? That's stupid. Stupid advice. Terrible advice. Do something that's profitable, that makes you a ton of money, so that you have the time to really follow your passion when you're not doing the work that you're doing. I would rather do something I hate for 4 hours a day so I could go fishing for the other 6 that it's light out. I would rather do something I hate for 4 hours a day so that I could do my hockey clinics on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 o'clock at my local rink. I would rather do something I hate for 4 hours a day so that I make every concert, every softball game, every parent-teacher conference, everything. Do something that's profitable because money is replaceable, but time is never going to come back. Once you miss something, it's over. If you don't sign up immediately, one of 3 reasons. Number 1, you probably believe that you won't be able to provide the results. Good. Perfect. Now we understand each other. Because if you think you should be providing results, you didn't listen to what the hell I was saying. We do the results providing for you. That's vital because people in here, we've had it before. We've had it happen. People will come in and they'll be like, oh, well, I want to call the guy and just make sure of this, and I want to call him and offer him this thing, and maybe this thing will be better for him. They lose the deal. There is a point where you talk yourself out of a sale, and it happens often to unexperienced people. All right, so if you don't believe you can provide the results, good. That means you'll let us do it for you. You might be worried you won't be able to get clients. Good, because we do the selling for you too. You don't have to worry about that either. We don't want you selling the deal. We don't want you providing the results. You might think it's too expensive, and here's the bottom line. If the money that you have, right, you have disposable income. It's not a matter of if you have it or not, right? It's not every person in here has access to $500 to invest in this right now. Everybody. I don't care who you are. You may think you don't have it, but you do. And I can give dramatic examples. If a plane crashed into your house right now, you'd find a way to fix your roof, right? If your car broke tomorrow morning on your way to work, transmission blew out, you'd find a way to fix it. You'd find a way to get back and forth to work because it's a must for you. Make income freedom and time freedom a must, and you'll find the $500 to invest in this right now. There's no doubt about it because every single one of you has the money. And the money that you invest tonight, the $500 you invest tonight, guess what? If you work a 9-to-5 job, that's coming back to you in your paycheck next week because money is always replaceable. It's always coming back. But the time that you would spend, you could figure all this stuff out on your own. It'll take you probably 3 or 4 years to do it, but you can figure it out on your own. I'm not going to sit here and say I have any secrets. You can figure it out on your own. You want to pay $500 and save 3 years of your life, or you want to waste 3 years of your life to maybe save a few $100? It's a choice you got to make. You want to think like a 1%er, or you want to think like a 99%er? You want to protest on Wall Street about all the big bad bankers, or do you want to get to work and be one of them? That's a choice you got to make, right? I can't make it for you. I can just give you the data and the facts behind it. You got to make the choice for yourself. But I'm telling you right now, if you think this is too expensive, use logic. If your transmission blew tomorrow, you know that's a must. You have to get to work. You'll find a way to fix it. If your kid was sick, you'd find a way to get that money to take that kid to the doctor or get the medicine or whatever. If your computer broke, you'd get a new one. If your phone broke, God forbid, right? God forbid, oh, I only have the iPhone 7. You'd find a way to get the new one. Everybody does. Okay? So the bottom line is if you make it a must, you're going to find a way to get it done. But the real problem is you don't stick to anything. And that's why with this program, we have bonus number 3. If you guys can handle me for 6 months, 6 months of mentoring with myself on Monday mornings. Me and Scott, actually Scott comes to every one of my calls too. On Monday mornings at 11 o'clock. We go for usually about 2 hours every Monday. I'm not going to promise 2 hours every Monday, but we went 3 hours 2 weeks ago, 2.5 hours last week. But we do calls every single Monday morning at 11 o'clock. And we also do calls every Thursday night at 7. So Thursday nights at 7 are more of the, here's how to demo the software if you want to do that, right? Here's about the PowerPoint slide. Here's how you do I have a problem with the members area. I lost my password. That's what Thursday is about. We call it the new member orientation, and we do it every single week. It's for all the technical back office stuff. Monday morning calls are about selling stuff, giving away free trials. And it's all open mic stuff. If you're comfortable with that, you don't have to come on the microphone, but you can. So what we do is you do it on Zoom meeting. And basically the way it works is I'll usually have like 10 or 15 minutes of me just rambling on about something stupid. And then I'll open it up. And someone will say, Monday, someone said, I'm calling people and I don't know the owner's name. What do I do? Talked about for a half hour about how to get over that, how to do that. Right? Another time we had somebody talk about, getting to the right person, getting to the decision maker, pitch the wrong person. How do I get around it? No matter what it is, we take every single question and we battle it out. We role play live in front of the audience on Monday morning. So you get comfortable in giving away the free trials. So that's worth $500, well above that in and of itself. Every Monday morning at 11 o'clock, and we go as long as it takes to get all the questions answered. We role play. It's open and it's live. Thursday night, you get all the technical back office stuff, and it's live every single week. Monday morning at 11, Thursday at 7. I don't go to many of the Thursday ones because usually I'm doing webinars or something like that, but every once in a while I'll pop in. And usually when I pop in, it turns into a much longer call than we expected. But Monday morning, Thursday night, 6 months of mentoring. But what if we just made this free for everybody? Would that help? Would that help some of the money issues if we just made it free for everyone? Well, here's what we got to do. We have bonus number 4, which is our level 1 referral program. We do not allow people to promote this unless they're members. Okay. Now, as an affiliate, okay, to be perfectly clear with you and transparent and upfront and honest, we have JV partners that promote this. They have a list and they put people in a webinar. I mean, yes, we do that. But if you're just some random person and you're going to put a sale or two in, but doing paid traffic, no. We don't approve any of those people as affiliates. Okay, we actually don't have any affiliates that aren't members of the program. We have JV partners that do JV contracts. We don't have any affiliates at all. So what we've done is we've created a level 1 referral program where if you could just refer 2 people into this program, it's free for you forever. Okay, so here's how it works. It's $1,000. You get 50% commission as an affiliate. It's $500 back to you. The program is essentially free. It is free forever if you can refer 2 people. And Scott has an hour-long training on exactly how to do that. He referred 28 people in like 3 weeks. It's the easiest thing ever. And here's how it works. Let me just explain it to you real quick. I thought there was a slide on it, but there's not. Here's how it works. You go out and you show a 15-minute video that I give you to whoever you want. Could be a friend of yours on Facebook. Could be a member of a group that you're in. Could be whoever. Doesn't matter. Someone who's interested in making more money. Who's that? Good answer, everybody. So you just show the 15-minute video to them. Then you have a link to my calendar, and you schedule a 3-way call with me, your prospect, and you. And I sell them the program for you, and you get half the money. I personally get on the phone with that person, and I sell the program for you, and you get half the money. Now, do we want this to become a main income stream? No. It's not meant to be a main income stream. You can give away as many as you want, right? You could promote this as much as you want, but that's not the point of this. The point of it is not for you to just become an affiliate and just promote what we have. That's not what we want you to do. We want you to be giving away free trials and building a business that's bigger than yourself. But to break you even, because we believe people are more comfortable and they're more apt to go out there and actually do it if their back isn't against the wall. We put $500 into your pocket if you could just refer 2 people. And we do all the selling for you. All you got to do is get on my calendar, book the appointment, and I show up, you show up, the prospect shows up, and I close the deal for you. And it's not something where I beat them over the head. It's a very low-key type call. And it works really well. I don't think we've lost anybody on the telephone yet. They don't all sign up right away, but they eventually come around and sign up, after we talk to them. But the closing percentage is pretty high on that. 6-part intensive training. This is what you get. 6-part intensive training, chamber model, hiring, training, and salespeople, appointment machine. We fulfill and close every deal for you. That's a $4,000 value combined together. 6 months of mentoring with me. Monday mornings with me at 11 a.m. Me and Scott at 11 a.m. And Scott and our tech team on Thursday at 7 p.m. Level 1 referral program, total value $10,976. You can go to kennycannontraining.com/Matt, $497, and then $147 per month after 60 days if you for 10 accounts. But again, the first 60 days are free. So what I want to do is I want to start with some questions that we have, and then I'm going to continue on to part 2. So Scott, if you want to hop on here and just take some of these questions for me and just read some of them out.
Absolutely.
That would be amazing if you could do that.
All righty. Let's see.
I know I went all the way back to my main screen, but that's okay.
Okay, no problem. I've been answering a lot of them as I've been going along.
And while you do that, I just want to jump in and say how excited I am about this product, about the service, just because I got to tell you that people are afraid to start selling. I get question after question. People like, how do I do it? Like I know that I can do this, but as far as talking with someone and the fact that you're doing it with them and closing the deals, I don't think that you can even put a price on that. It's incredible. I love how streamlined this system is, and you can tell that you guys have been doing this for a long time and you know how it works, and you're able to show people exactly what to do. And the path, it's so short to success.
Well, and Matt, I've been a salesperson, commission salesperson for 30 years, and Kenny and I both have experience in that area. But most people, the number one fear on the planet is public speaking, and probably close to that number 2 is sales. And Kenny and I are just really abnormal people because we absolutely thrive on it. And so that's one of the things that we know that people have trouble with. So we figured if we could put together a program where they didn't have to fulfill the service and they didn't have to call to close it, all they had to do was go out there and prospect to their local clients. And everybody knows that in 2018, online reviews are a vital component to the success of a local business. If your review numbers are in the tank, people are going to call your competitor. They're not going to call you. So everything combined, we really feel very strongly. And the most important part of it to me of all, I come from a counseling background like you do, Matt.
Oh, cool.
And so, the thing that I get the biggest thrill out of is, after 30 years of selling, I know how to make a living, and I can do very well above average. But the thing that I can't do is feel as much fulfillment as I felt when Shelly Benton was so scared to leave her house. Her heart monitor went off, and she was trembling. And I worked with her and talked with her and encouraged her for 3 weeks before the ambulance came to her house. And then when she made it to the chamber, made it to the chamber and actually started talking to them, then what it did for her personally to be able to face that fear and overcome it, you can't put a price tag on helping someone transform their life. Wow. And so, yes, we're helping people to be able to put income into their pockets. We're also helping them to overcome limits that they never thought they could get past. And for me to get paid to be able to be a part of that as a condition of all of this whole thing is really one of the reasons why I wake up in the morning and I never stop, and until I just drop at night, because my commitment is to help as many people as I can. Because I'm a firm believer that if I can help enough other people get what they want, I'm going to get what I want. And I'm trying to practice that principle in every action that I take every single day. So that's my little pitch from the soapbox here. Now, Kenny, one thing it says, and thank you again, Matt, by the way, software is iReviews. I have used it before, but my clients didn't follow through, hoping you can help.
Yeah, the software is actually software that we own. It's our own software, so it's nothing that you've used before. And yes, we definitely can help with that. There's a number of different ways that we do it. The only thing, without giving away anything that's actually people paid money to be involved in the program, so I can't give away much of the stuff. But the only thing that I will tell you is this. Every single thing that we do is according to Google's terms of service, and we have ways of getting them reviews. We don't pay. Everything that we do, it comes from a customer of theirs. So it's someone that patronized their business, right? Everything. So it's not like we're going out and hiring people to leave reviews for them or anything like that. The review has to come through what we showed you in the beginning. It has to come through that portal, okay? But there are ways to increase that and make sure that they're actually using it. And I'll be brutally honest with you. Is every person going to use it? No. No, it's not going to happen. You're going to give away free trials that never put a number in. That's going to happen. And it's going to happen pretty often. 20% of the people that take a free trial, they're never going to use it. That's one of the beauties of this. And to be honest with you, that's why I have a little trouble with it. Okay? And I know that sounds weird. Like, I'm the guy here telling you how great it is, and I'm saying I have trouble with it. One of the things that I have trouble with is that I can't go and bash someone over the head and slam it down their throat. Because if they don't use it, they're not going to see results with it. Right? I come from a world, stocks, mortgages, cars, where I could beat the crap out of somebody and push them into a car. Easily, right? I can beat someone up and get them to buy stock. That's not hard to do. You could do that. It's easy. Same thing with a mortgage, refi. It's easy to do, right? But with this, if they're not going to use the software, they're not going to see the results. So you have to kind of only give it to the people that really want, need, desire it, have the ability to pay for it, which it's free, and they're a decision maker, right? So again, you're going to have trials that just don't use it, and that's going to happen. So, but like I said, we have ways of getting that done.
And we also had a question, what is your cut? So what are they paying us, Kenny?
Explain that a little bit more.
What are they paying us after 60 days, I think what are they paying us to be members of our program?
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, guys, just so you know, sometimes we deal with this on Monday mornings. We deal with this on Thursdays too. Sometimes when you write a question, I'll ask you, like, explain it more, go into more, because I don't get it, and I just want to try to make sure I answer the right question. So basically, the easiest way to look at it is this. The retail price of our service is $97 a month, okay? The wholesale price is $14.70. That's the way to look at it. We only sell accounts in blocks of 10. So it's $147 for 10 accounts. This is after your first 60 days. First 60 days, you don't pay anything. But this is after the first 60 days. So it's $14.70, and you charge $97. You have the ability to charge whatever you want. There's a lower limit, and I don't know what it is. I think it's like $50 or something. But you could charge whatever you want above that. $59 is the lowest we can sell it for. But you can charge as much as you want. If you want to charge, and I encourage people to do this, because I believe that a lawyer benefits more from a deal being closed from your reviews than a pizza place does, right? Getting a person to come in the store to buy a slice of pizza, that pizza place is not benefiting from that really at all, right? But a lawyer gets one deal in, that's a $4,000 retainer. That's a big deal. And if your review caused that, you should charge more because that's more valuable, right? So I think a lawyer, you could charge $400 a month, $500 a month for it. A pizza place, $97. Nail salon, $97. Hair salon, $97, right? So the bottom line is $14.70 an account. That's the wholesale. And you retail it for, in my opinion, a minimum of $97, and you could go as high as you want. The last thing I'll say about that question is this. It's important for you guys to know you don't pay us anything. Like what I mean by that is this is not like you're paying us $97 and then we're paying you money and you're getting a special link. We teach you how to set up your own payment buttons. We teach you how to set up all that stuff. So you're collecting all the money from your clients. We're not doing that. You guys are. So we don't touch any of your money at all. All right, so you can charge whatever you want to charge. And, if you want my advice, and I tell people this every day, charge what you think it's worth to the client based on what they do. And Scott has a roofing client that, I don't know the numbers behind it now because it's pretty insane, but it's like $300,000 in new business or something in the last 4 months of last year.
680, Kenny.
$680,000 in new roofs.
And I've got that on video from their sales manager. I'm not making it up.
The guy, sales manager of the company has this, and he's charging him $97 a month. Like what? Sorry, Scott, but that's a little. The value is a little off there, right? The value scale is a little off. $600,000 for $400. That's crazy. So there you go. We suggest the retail is 97. How long does the in-person presentation last? This is one of the great things about working with Scott and me. Scott and I both sell in completely different ways. They both work, and we're both pretty good salespeople. Scott takes the longer route. I take the shorter route. They both get the job done. It's just our personalities. If I go in to do a deal like this, it's a 10-minute thing. And I'm either getting thrown out and I'm leaving, or because I'm not coming. I'm not. If someone tells me, I got to take it back, I got to talk to my partner, I'm beating them up, right? I'm going at them. I'm not taking no for an answer. Scott will, and again, they both work. Scott will say, okay, talk to your partner. We'll come back next week when he comes back or whatever, and he'll massage that deal close, and it works. But for me, I'm like, I'll just go to the next door. I'll go to the next person. I'll go to the next call. I'll go to the next whatever. So 2 different ways, right? So that just, it could go either way. It depends on you.
And I went to a meeting last week with a vice president of a local organization that represents 33 counties of businesses. And when I walked into that presentation, I took a pillow and a blanket. And when I introduced myself, I said, my name is Scott. And until you say yes, it looks like we might be here for a while. So I came prepared. So if you just go out and have fun, and the reason you can go out and have fun is because you know that local businesses need online reviews. All they got to do is Google it, and they already know it. That's one of the most amazing things. I've been in sales, commission sales for 30 years. I've never met less resistance when going to talk to business owners about online reviews. And Kenny, we've got another question about how do you go and approach your local chamber? And then we've also got one, how do you have a 100% retention rate? And so those are 2 that you can go with. And if you want me to role play with you with the chamber, we can do that.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you
Let's do the chamber first, and then the other one second. So the Chamber of Commerce is actually pretty easy. All we do is we just call them up. The wording is important here. So I give you this script. You have to follow this wording. You can walk in if you want, just walk in cold. But if you call them and set an appointment, you have to make sure that you say the words exactly the way that I tell you to do it. So what you do is you call them up and you say to them, my name is Kenny. I'm possibly interested in joining your chamber, and I wanted to come in and see what you guys have to offer. When can I come in? Now, the product, quote unquote, that the Chamber of Commerce sells is a membership, right? So think about it this way. Like, that pitch may seem crazy to a lot of you, but think about it this way. If you own an SEO company and somebody calls you up and says, I'm possibly thinking about buying your SEO service, when can I come and see you? Are you going to be like, well, I'm not interested? It just doesn't happen. I'm too busy to talk to you right now. Doesn't happen. That's why we have a hard time coming up with objections, because they just don't happen, right? I'm calling somebody up and I'm saying, I'm possibly thinking about buying your thing. When can I come in so you can pitch me your thing? They're going to invite you in as soon as possible, okay? Once we get there, what is a Chamber of Commerce? It's a group of businesses. It's a group that has all business owners in it, right? So what are they going to ask you? What do you do for a living? What is your business? What are you going to do? You're going to tell them using the slide presentation that I give you, the PowerPoint slide that me and Scott came up with. You're going to show them what we do. Then you're going to give the Chamber of Commerce the tool for free forever. Now, a lot of you are going to say, oh, that's crazy. I want to make my $97 a month. I get it. But you're going to give the Chamber of Commerce the tool for life, free. Then you're going to do something that we haven't even touched on, because I don't want to confuse what we're doing here. This is really inside baseball. When you get in the members area, we have whole long trainings on this. But you're going to go in a direction called non-dues revenue. Okay. Now what that means is this right here changes the entire game. We don't put it in the webinar because it's just confusing, and it will take. I'll have more questions on this than anything else. But
you got to see later, so we'll go ahead and let you in on it.
Yeah, non-dues revenue is the next step of the process. You give the Chamber of Commerce the tool forever. Okay. Then you talk about what's called non-dues revenue. Non-dues revenue is any revenue that comes into a Chamber of Commerce outside of their dues. Pretty basic, common sense, right? Non-dues revenue. What that does is that gives the Chamber the ability to sell the tool for you, and then you pay them a percentage of that fee, whatever the percentages you work out with them. Okay, so when we show you deals like the Shelly Benton deal, 1,200 people, those people will be sold the tool, not by Shelly, by the Chamber of Commerce. When we show you Marcus's deal at 900 thing, those 900 people, and not all of them are going to sign up, right? That's impossible. But whatever it is, if she gets half, 40%, 30%, whatever it is, the Chamber of Commerce is selling the tool for them, not him. He gave it to them for free for life. Then the Chamber is selling it for him, and he's collecting the money. All right, so that's the Chamber deal. What was the other question? Why would someone keep it?
Yes. How do we have 100% retention rate? Because when people buy it and use it, they keep it. It's right. $97 a month.
Right. Yeah. Let's demonstrate that though. What do you sell, Scott? Make something up. What do you anything? It doesn't matter what it is.
Roofing.
Bad example.
Roofing.
That's a terrible example. It's too much money. Oh, okay. Let's just go with it so they don't think we're planning this out. You sell roofing. Scott? What's one customer worth to you? On average, I know it's a hard question.
$10,000 is average job, $3,000 profit.
Okay, so a $3,000 profit, and around what's the area that you serve around your office?
Raleigh, North Carolina Triangle.
Okay, so what is that, like 10 miles, 20 miles? What is it? I don't know.
30.
How many homes are in that area?
Millions.
Really? Millions of homes in the Raleigh, North Carolina Triangle? Whatever you call it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So let me ask you this, and if the answer is no and you think I'm crazy, that's fine. And guys, this is a real sales call. We're role-playing this out right now. This is how we talk to clients, okay? So Scott, let me ask you this, and if you think this is crazy, just tell me I'm crazy. It's fine. Just say no. It's fine. Do you think that if you have, instead of the 3-star rating that you had before we met, if you have a 4 or 5-star rating and you keep getting 10 or 15 or 20 reviews a month, do you think that's going to make it more likely that you get another customer or less likely?
More likely.
Okay. So if you have 1 million plus homes in the area, how many do you have to get in order to make $97 a month work for you? And don't answer that, Scott. You see how I cut them off? That's strategy. It's that stuff we go over on Monday mornings. Don't answer that, Scott, because here's the answer. If you get one deal at $10,000, $3,000 profit, the $97 a month essentially is paid forever. Do we agree?
Yes.
Okay, good. That deal's done.
And
now, the reason why, listen, just real quick, the reason why I originally said that's a bad example, because how do you do that with a pizza place? A roofing deal is easy. If he makes $3,000 on a deal, I can justify $97 a month in seconds, right? It's easy to do. But how do you do it with a pizza place? You do it the same way, but it's a little bit harder. You say to them, what's your average ticket when somebody comes in? $50. Okay, how many people on average live in the local area within a mile of your pizza place? 2,000. Okay, do you think that if you have 3 stars, you're going to get more or less business? Less. If you have 5 stars, you're going to get more or less business? More, right? Do you think I could just bring in 2 extra people a month if you have 5 stars as opposed to 3? Common sense, right? You're at least going to get 2 more people. If you do that, you break even. Anything over 2 is profit. And if I can't get more than 3 people in a month for bringing you from 3 to 5, then you should fire me. That's how you justify the fee. But that's why a roofing deal is a bad example, because at $3,000 you can easily justify it. That's also why I love lawyers, because you can easily justify the fee. All right, let's see what other kinds of questions.
Kenny, you're going to love Elise's. Did you see that? I just answered it. Can we crush this on the phone? I know how much you love the phone.
Right. I give you all the scripts in the world on the telephone, Elise, and I can teach you how to use the phone better than anybody alive. Again, I don't like to brag, and there's a lot of great salespeople out there that use the telephone, but I am the best. There's no doubt about it. But here's the problem with the telephone in this offer. They have to see it. And I say this every Monday because everybody wants to use the phone, and I get it. I say it every Monday. I say it in the training over and over and over again. I say it in the Facebook group every day. They have to see what we see, right? Go back to the King Chef example. If I call him up and I am pitching him and I'm talking about his 3-star review and his 5-star competitor, it's not the same as if I walk in and I say, look at what people are seeing when they look you up on the maps. It's different, right? Now, where you can use the telephone is setting appointments, okay? And the other thing, too, is the telephone. I'm not saying you can't do this through your voice, right? You could do it over a Skype call because you could share your screen. You could do it at a Zoom meeting because you could share your screen. You could do it over an appointment where you call the guy on the phone and then do what we call a propaganda sequence, which is case studies, testimonials, and a threat. Those 3 things you send them, right? And we give you the templates for that, by the way. You set the appointment, you send them the 3 things, and you show up on the appointment, you literally say when you want to start, now or next week. That's it, okay? So you could do that, but the bottom line is they have to see it. If they don't see it, it's an extremely difficult thing to get across. There's too much teaching involved, and I'm not a teacher. I'm a closer, right? I don't want to teach people. I want to shut them down. I want to open them up, get them to know who I am, and then I want to shut them down as quickly as possible. I don't want to have to explain a lot of stuff. So if they see it, it's easier for me to get through. And by the way, guys, we still have bonuses available. KennyCannonTraining.com/Matt. You click the button on the side of the screen. If you see the bonus listed on the page, it is still available. We have people asking us, like, am I 10, 9, or 8, or whatever? If you see it listed on the screen, it's still available for you. You can click the button on the side of the screen. You go to KennyCannonTraining.com/Matt. Get involved, $500, and you can get started.
And Matt, I got a question for Matt's bonuses. Is there an easy magic video script for this service specific to the giveaway program?
There's not yet, but we could see if we could develop it. I'm going to think about that.
Okay, no problem. And let's see. One of the other things too, Kenny, we're getting questions more about going to other businesses, and I just want to say this, and then I'll be quiet again. But people, think about it. If you go to a chamber of commerce and they've got 500 members, if you work out a deal with the chamber of commerce and you take it to the non-dues revenue end, the chamber will offer that to the members in the chamber. Now, would you rather work on having that working for you or go by and talk to the pizza place and the barber and the plumber and the electrician all on your own? Follow what we're trying to help you to understand. Go after organizations that already have the businesses grouped together. I promise if you will write that down on paper and look at it and look at how much time you're going to spend going after onesies and twosies instead of going after organizations who need non-dues revenue, you are going to make a lot more money if you do it that way than if you go after the onesies and twosies. Now, that's just a recommendation and a suggestion, and I'll be quiet again and let Kenny talk some more. So,
I like Jason's question. And first of all, too, before I get into that, thank you guys, all of you guys who joined tonight. Thank you. I'm not going to mention all the names, but just you know who you are. Scott, I agree with the chamber. I have a lot of connections with chambers. Can't wait. Awesome, Mark. Hit home runs, ideally grand slams, not singles and doubles. Okay, kind of agree, but kind of disagree as well. The only time really you should be pitching this to any kind of like local business that's in your area is if you're exchanging commerce with them. That's how I do it anyway. So like I did a live stream in the Facebook group the other day, or like 2 weeks ago actually, probably now. But I was at GameStop buying my daughter a new Xbox One controller, and the guy at GameStop was like, and I didn't get the deal, by the way, because he wasn't the actual decision. He couldn't make the decision on what I was doing, but he had a thing on his receipt, and he was like, would you mind giving me a survey at GameStopReviews.com? And I'm like, sure, I'd give you everything. Does that go to Google where people actually look? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, what if I can actually fill out that review on GameStopReviews.com or whatever the hell the site was, and I can also get it on Google, so you go from the 40 reviews that you're at now to 50, 60, 70, or 80 in the next 2 or 3 weeks. He's like, that would be awesome. I'm like, okay, good. I have a tool I can do that. Let's get started. He's like, well, I can't do that. I'm just like the assistant manager or something. And then I had to get, I'm working my way up that chain, and I want to get the actual district manager of the GameStop so I can get all of them at one time. But That's the only time you should really be selling it or pitching it or giving it away to people in your local area, is when you're exchanging commerce with them. So I always tell people, like your barber, right? If you go out to a restaurant, you go to eat, right? Your landscaper, if you have one, the guy who does your driveway, if you're getting a driveway, but whoever does, we call it the power base. Whoever you do business with on a regular basis, those are the people you should be presenting this to. And that's how I started all of my companies, by the way. I mean, my Facebook ad agency, we're not even off Long Island yet. We're well into the 7 figures. All of our clients are the people that I do business with. That's the only time you should really ever be doing that. All right. So here's a really good question by Jason, and now I lost it. Oh, here it is. What if they already have a review site tool? On to the next, he says. Yes, you could go that route. Scott, are you still there?
I am right here.
Okay, so Jason, we're going to assume you haven't gone through the training that we provided in the members area yet, but we're going to assume that we're going for the low-hanging fruit, right? We don't stick with low-hanging fruit because I have ways to pitch people that have 5 stars and 300 reviews. And I'll teach you how to do that. And I have ways, obviously, to pitch people like King Chef, we talked about before, who had 3 stars, okay? So let's say I'm going after someone that has 3 stars, and they have 20 reviews like we saw in King Chef, and then I want Scott to tell me, he's going to be the guy that I'm pitching, I want him to tell me that he already has a review tool. So we go through the whole process. You have 3 reviews, 20 reviews, 3 stars. Now hit me with that objection.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, but I've already got one of those things bringing me reviews.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think it's working?
Yeah, I think we've gotten a few lately.
Okay. You know that your rating is 3 though, right?
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure. I've looked at it in the last week, but I thought it was bigger. I thought it was better than that.
Okay, well, you did look at it because I just showed you. But it's 3. You see it right in front of us, and you know your competitor is 4.5. Your closest competitor is 4.5, right? I mean, it's right here in front of us, so we can't really argue that.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, you did put it in front of me.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I think we can both agree, and if I'm wrong, tell me, but I think we can both agree that the tool that you're using, whatever that is not working as well as you thought it was going to work. Could we at least agree on that?
Well, I mean, if I'm at a 3, then yeah, it's probably not working as well as I was hoping.
So how about we do this? I don't want you to cancel it. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to. That's not why I'm here. How about we do this? How about you keep the review tool that you have now? You try mine for free, and you compare and contrast which one's better. And at the end of 30 days, you cancel which one you don't like.
That sounds reasonable. I guess I got nothing to lose.
Now, Jason, you can just say, screw you, and go on to... Don't say that, actually. That's a Monday morning call. You can't actually say that. Don't say screw you and leave. But you can say, okay, fine, and just go on to somebody else. You could, but there's ways to overcome literally every objection in the world. And I could show you how to overcome anything that comes out. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter, okay? So you could do it either way. I don't want to use 2 tools, though. So, okay, Scott, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really want to use, I'd just like to use 1. I don't feel like I need 2.
I don't feel like you need 2 either. That's why you're going to take the next 30 days to evaluate which one is better. Because you just admitted that the one that you're using isn't working up to par, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, now listen, Scott, if you want to cancel the one that you're using now, that's okay, but that's not why I came in here. I came in here to help you solve a problem, which is your reviews. And you know it's a problem. We just looked at it in front of us, right? And you also admitted that the tool you're using right now, as great as you may think it is not working the way it should be working. You said that as well. So instead of you canceling, which you could do if you'd like to, the best route, in my opinion, would be to compare both of them. Kind of like a test drive on a car. Don't just sell your car and then say, screw it, I'm buying the Honda. Drive the Honda first while you still have your car, and if you like the Honda, buy it and sell the car that you're driving now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Right. So, what do you think if you had to choose? What do you think would be a better course of action? To cancel the one you have now and go with ours, stick with the one you have now and stay at 3 stars, or test both of them at the same time?
I guess it's better just to go ahead and have both of them now, but I'll try yours even though I won't cancel that one yet.
Okay. Now the other way too, another thing that person could say, is something along the lines of, I just had it, now I forgot. Another thing that person could say is, what were the three choices I gave you? Keep the one you have at 3 stars, take mine, and or keep both and test them out, right? Right. Yeah. That person could just say, you know what, I'm going to keep the one I have and I'm going to see what I'm going to do, right? He could make that choice, right? And if that's the case, Jason, he's asking great questions, by the way. If that's the case, and he's trying to beat me, which never happens. Yeah. And it's okay. I love it. I wish he'd come on his microphone and do it, but I love it. If he chooses to keep the tool that he has now, there's 2 ways you can go. You could say, okay, fine, and go on to the next one, and that would be totally cool. That's fine. There's no problem with that. Or you can go around and you could say to him, so let me ask you this, just so we're on the same page. You're okay with being number 2, 3, 4, or 5 in your industry, and you do not want to be the leader in the Chinese food restaurant business in this area. Is that correct? Is it fair to say that?
Yeah.
Okay, because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to, I forget the other thing. What was the other one? Wild Rice? I'm going to go to Wild Rice. They are going to take my tool, and I am going to make sure that I solidify them as the #1 Chinese restaurant in this town. And I just want to make sure before I leave you that you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, bye. Now I go to Wild Rice, and I crush that guy. All right, so listen, this is business, right? I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to make friends, and I want my clients to dominate. I want to be known as the guy who dominates everything. So I want to go, if that guy wants to be #1, I want to put Wild Rice out of business. That sounds harsh, but that's the way business works, right? Jeff Bezos is not thinking about how to keep Target workers employed. He's thinking about how to take them out. And if you want to be a serious business person, I'm not saying go around hurting people, but if you want to be serious, the clients that you take on, you have to make sure that they get the best results possible. And that means dominating their industry. So I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to tell that guy, are you okay with not being #1? Yes, I'm okay with that. So if I go to Wild Rice and they continue to be #1 and you are a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th choice on somebody's menu, you're okay with that. Yes, okay, bye. I'm going to solidify them as the #1 Chinese restaurant in this area. And you're never going to have a chance after that happens. Now, I may not say all that to them, but that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to solidify them as the #1 choice. And I'm going to leave. Jason, I love this. Jason also says, and then we're going to get into part two. Jason also says, what's different about your tool? Scott?
To be perfectly honest with you, they're not real. It's not really all.
No, I don't want you to answer the question. You're my role player tonight.
Oh, hey, what's so different about your system?
To be honest with you, Scott, there's probably like 5,000 different things that I could tell you that's different about what you're using than what you're using right now. But here's the problem. What do you think is better, if I told you about all the things that are different or if you experience them for yourself? And before you answer that, let me give you an example. The last car you bought was what?
A Toyota Camry.
Nice. Did you buy it new or used?
Used.
Okay. Did you buy it off the test drive that you drove when you drove it, or did you buy it off the brochure?
I test drove it.
Okay. What I'm asking you to do here is apply the same logic. I can go on and on and on about all the different features of our tool, but you're never going to really experience it until you really experience it. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Take it for a ride for 30 days, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Does that sound fair?
That's what happened. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's how you overcome that. Again, guys, anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Anything, anything, anything. Like literally, there's a fire in my office right now. I don't know what to do. I can overcome it. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay, let's go on to part number 2. And then, can this system generate income sooner than 30-day period? Yes, it can. It can generate income literally the day you get started on it. Okay, and that's where the chamber non-dues revenue model comes into play. Okay, that if you do it the right way, that could generate income on day number 1. Now, again, when you get started, right? Because a lot of people think they get started on the day they click the buy button and they invest in the program, and then they decide not to prospect for 3 weeks because they're building websites, they're getting the logo design, they're getting T-shirts, they're getting the foosball tables and everything else for their stupid office that they don't need, all that. If you buy this program tonight and you start prospecting, you go to tomorrow morning, you go to 7 chambers in your area, you're going to have money by the end of the week. You're going to have people buying this thing by the end of the week. There's no doubt about that. And I'm not talking about free trials. I'm talking about chambers selling it for you. Okay? If you go out, trials don't have to be 30 days. Depends on foot traffic. You go out to a pizza place. This is all little micro stuff that you learn inside the training and on the Monday morning calls, on the Thursday night calls. The trials don't have to be 30 days. Depends on the foot traffic of the business. If you go into a pizza place and you say, listen, these people get 100 people through the door every single day. They can have 10, 15, 20 reviews this afternoon. I don't need 30 days to prove it works. I can give them a 7-day trial. I can give them a 2-day trial. Try it for 2 days. If you don't get reviews in 2 days, just don't delete it off your computer. Simple as that. Depends on the foot traffic. Okay? All right. Let's go into part number 2. Okay, so part number 2 is my favorite part of this whole entire thing. How to close 80% of your prospects the first time you speak to them. If you think this is possible, if you think this is impossible, if you think this can never happen, 80% closing ratio on anything is impossible. If you think it's impossible, I want you to type a 1 in the chat box. If you think it can't be done, I want you to type a 1 in the chat box. And I'm going to warn you guys really quickly. I will open up microphones for the people who type 1. But if you think it's impossible, I want you to type a 1. And while you guys are doing that, I am going to just kind of get through this. And then if you guys want to open up your microphone and yell at me and scream at me, you can, because I love that stuff. All right. KennyCannonTraining.com/Matt. Still bonuses available. If it's listed on the page, KennyCannonTraining.com/Matt, you click the button on the side of the screen. If it's listed there, it's available. Part number 2, how to close 80% of your prospects. Okay. Number 1, want, need, and desire. Want, need, and desire. You should only be selling to people. And I'm just going to use the word selling, right? We're giving away free stuff here, but I'm going to use the word selling because it is what it is. You should only be selling to people who want, need, and or desire what it is that you have. Okay? Train a lot of the Geico salespeople. Okay? Don't sell car insurance to people who don't buy cars, who don't drive. That's dumb. I don't care how good you are at selling stuff. If they don't have a car, they have no need for car insurance. You can be the greatest car insurance salesperson in the world, but if that person rides a bike to and from work and lives in New York City and does not have a vehicle, you're wasting your time. You can be the best car salesman in the world, but if that person walking in the lot just pulled out of the lot next door and still has the window sticker on his car, you ain't selling them a car. Got to have want, need, and desire in order to make a sale happen. Okay, and it has to be a general want, need, and desire. So we talk about Google reviews, right? They don't have to wake up in the morning and say, holy crap, I need a Google review tool. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is King Chef knows he has a 3-star rating on Google. That creates a general want, need, and desire for what we have. Okay? Number 2, authority. They have to have the ability to say yes or no. The authority to say yes or no right now. What does that mean? In plain English, don't pitch people who can't make a decision. So you're not going to pitch secretaries. You're not going to give it away to the social media guy. You're not going to give it away to the vice president. You're not going to give it away to the marketing manager. You're going to give it. I want the owner of the company. I want the president of the Chamber of Commerce. I want to do a presentation in front of the entire board of directors. Because I am not going to deal with, I have to talk to my wife, I have to talk to my partner, that's not a qualified prospect. People ask me all the time, how do I get over the wife objection? You bring the wife in. That's the way you get over it. Because if it's a husband and wife making a husband and wife decision, car, house, life insurance, you need both of them there. That's how you qualify the prospect. Because both of them are part of the buying decision. That's why life insurance agents will always say, if they're highly trained and they're good at what they do, when's a good time to meet with you and your wife? Real estate agents, when's a good time to meet with you and your husband or you and your wife, right? Timeshare people. You ever go to one of those timeshare things where you go to like Florida, like Disney World or something, you got to sit through that presentation? Why do you think they only give it to married couples for the most part, right? And you got to have a certain income level, right? You got to have a certain income level because you got to have the ability to make a payment. If you don't have the ability to make the payment, none of the other stuff matters. I could want, a timeshare example, I could want the timeshare, right? I can have the authority to say yes or no right now, but if all I have is $2,000 in the bank and I have a 500 credit score and I make $20,000 a year, I don't have the ability to buy a timeshare, right? I can want a car, I can have the authority to drive and sign a contract, but if I have a 500 credit score and I don't work for a living, I can't buy a car, right? Now, the beauty of what we do is that everybody has a general want, need, and desire for their business to have more and better feedback, right? Every business in the world wants that. Every product wants that, right? You look on Amazon. Every product wants more reviews, better reviews. Everybody wants that. Whether they know it or not, whether they wake up thinking about it or go to sleep dreaming about it, doesn't matter. But they all generally want, need, and desire more/better feedback. Every business in the world wants that. Authority is the business owner. Ability, it's free. What does that mean? All we got to do is find decision makers. That's it. If we have a decision maker on the phone, in person, on Skype, whatever, through email, video, Facebook, whatever it is, if we have a decision maker on, that is a closable deal. Simple as that. Okay? Now, the next two, experience and status. People ask me pretty often, and I read these on Facebook all the time too, which annoys the crap out of me. Why do people buy stuff? The only reason why people buy stuff is because, number one, it increases the experience in their life, or it increases their status in the group they're trying to increase their status in. So the question is, why does the middle manager who gets a raise from $100,000 to $120,000 trade in his Honda Accord for a BMW 3 Series? More comfortable, drives better. What does that mean? Experience, right? Better radio, better air conditioning, looks cooler, right? Status, right? Looks cooler. People, when he pulls up to his office, ooh, look at this guy with the BMW. Who's that guy? That's a nice car. Where'd you get a new car? That's all status stuff, right? Why do you think people buy 50-inch flat screen TVs the day before the Super Bowl? They're having a party, right? It's not because they need to see Tom Brady's head that's like the size of their wall. That's not why. Because they're having people come to their house and they want those people to say, oh, you got a new TV, man. That's really nice. What'd you get? How many ports are in? It's a status deal. Now, in the sales game, this is what we call hot buttons, right? When you have a prospect on the phone or in person or whatever it is, you have to find out what their hot buttons are, and then you have to beat them to death. So if I have somebody, and I'll use a car example again, if I have a mom and a dad with 3 kids, right, walk into a car showroom, and I'm going to sell them a car, or I'm going to maybe train some of the car salespeople, and I'm going to demonstrate how I sell that woman a car or that couple a car, I'm going to instantly go to safety. Why? Because I'm going to guess at first and say 3 young kids, young couple in their 30s, right? They don't want a minivan because they're still in their 30s. They probably want an SUV, which basically is a minivan today, most of them, right? Unless you have a Wrangler like I do. Most of them are minivans that are just look a little bit cooler. So, but I want to focus on the safety stuff because they have young kids and they're probably freaking out, right? I want to focus on safety and I want to focus on budget because those are probably their 2 big deals. And then I'm going to play a game with them. I'm going to guess and I'm going to try to find. And then once I find it out, if I say, oh, the airbags, and the wife is like, yeah, airbags, we want airbags, and she starts talking about the safety, now I'm just going to go pounce on safety stuff. Boom, 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 boom. We got to find out what these are, and it's a guessing game. But sometimes it's easy to spot. Now, with us here, with what we do, right, experience and status. Do you want your customers to see a 2-star rating when they look you up? No. Right? What is that? Status. Right? Let me ask you a question, Mr. Wild Rice, or whatever the hell the company was before, King Chef. Let me ask you a question, Mr. King Chef. When your customer comes in, Do you want them to be worried about the quality of your food? Do you think them seeing a 3-star rating on Google makes them a little worried about your food? Because I'm going to be honest with you, and this is out of the sales pitch. I'm just talking to you guys now, right? I'm not demonstrating anything. I'm talking to you guys. I'll be honest with you. If I walk into a restaurant and I see that they have a 2-star rating, a 3-star rating, or anything like that, I'm terrified. And I am, because I'm a germaphobe. Like I don't like going out to eat. I don't like any of that stuff. And I was talking to Matt before. If you remember before, I said if I travel, I only go to places with kitchens because I don't like going out to eat. That's why. I don't like it. I get freaked out by other people making my food and like the plates are dirty and everything else. I don't like it. So if I walk into a restaurant that has a 3-star rating, I'm freaking out. What does that do? That hurts my experience. And a business owner is going to care about his customer's experience. So I could play off that. Right? So there's a number of different ways you could do it. But again, the only reason why people buy stuff, you can go down to a pack of gum, or you can go all the way up to a house. Biggest purchase someone's ever going to make, right? For most people, their house. You can go as little as a pack of gum or a can of Sprite. The only reason they do it, experience and status. And you could go really negative with it too, because every product is sold the same exact way. It doesn't matter what it is. Every product is sold the same way. Why do people buy drugs? It increases their experience and or status, right? How many people in here smoke? I'm sure a lot of people, or maybe they used to. I used to smoke. I quit 10 years ago. But I used to smoke. Why? Why did you do that? It increased your status. You thought it did anyway when you were 16 in high school, right? You thought it was cool, so you did it. That's why you made the decision. And then later on in life, it hurt your experience and status, so you switched, or maybe you still smoke. But a lot of people who quit, they switched and they went the other way. And did something else, right? So buying decisions are based on what is going to increase our experience and status. And we judge that based on other people's experiences for the most part. For the most part. That's why, since the beginning of time, word of mouth was like the best way to market stuff, right? If you can have customers talking about you and referring people to you, that's great. Today, reviews are the word of mouth. And I said that in the beginning. That's the word of mouth of 2018 and beyond. Not Google reviews, reviews in general. On Amazon, on Facebook, on Google. You watch a YouTube video, right? Let's say you want to fix something in your truck and you watch a YouTube video. If 1,000 people watched it and there's 100 down thumbs and there's 3 up thumbs, are you going to take the guy's advice? No. If it's reversed, if there's 100 thumbs up and there's 3 thumbs down, are you going to take the guy's advice? Probably, right? You judge instantly based on that because you're making a decision based on other people's experiences. So let's run through this really quickly. They already know they need what you have. They already have the money. They are a decision maker. The product or service makes their life better and or easier. The product or service makes them more valuable, status. Now, give me a reason why they would say no. And I'm not going to wait too long because I'm just going to give you a little hint. There isn't one. There isn't one. Now, they may say, let me think about it, right? They could say that, but that's easy to overcome. They could say, I don't have the money, but we know where they're lying to us. How do we know they're lying to us if they say they don't have the money? Because they're a qualified prospect. They have the ability to pay us. And if they're not a qualified prospect, I shouldn't be talking to them. So if you get to the point where you're closing a deal and you're 15 minutes into a presentation and you find out the guy doesn't have money, you didn't do your job in the prospecting phase. That's not a sales issue. That's a prospecting issue. It's different. Okay? So if we know they're a qualified prospect, they have the money, they're a decision maker, they need the product or service, there is absolutely zero reason, valid reason, as to why they should say no. This is why I pounce. This is why. This is why when somebody tells me, call me back on Tuesday, there's none of that. Zero with me. Because I look at this and I say, listen, this increases, I'm not going to say this to anybody ever, but this is what I'm thinking, right? This increases their status. It increases their experience. They have the money for it. They're a decision maker. They have a want, need, a desire for it. Punch, 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 punch. There's no jabbing in Gary Vaynerchuk's language, right? I'm hooking every single time. Because I know all these things are checked off. And if I know all these things are checked off, there's no reason to just punch. There's no reason to just give up. You got to just keep pouncing on them until they buy. Right? And I'm saying it as if I'm like being really harsh, but there's ways to do it that aren't as harsh as I'm making it sound. And that's exactly how we close 80% of the people. All right. But again, we do our bi-weekly, or that's twice a week. I don't know if it's bi-weekly or whatever, but twice a week. We do Monday mornings and Thursday evenings. And this is for everyone who invests live tonight, live on this call, not available for the replay, but if you invest live on this call tonight, you are going to have access to this. Monday mornings from 11 o'clock, usually to around 12:30, 1 o'clock, we do a lot of sales stuff. And Thursday afternoons, we do a lot of, Thursday evening, sorry, we do a lot of the back office stuff and technical stuff and all that. Explain how the software works and announce new products and services that we have to offer and all that. And we role play literally every Monday morning. Anybody can open up their microphone and challenge me on anything, any Monday morning they want. And they do every week, and it's awesome. It's great. I love it. One of my favorite things to do during the week. And you guys have that opportunity tonight, too, if you want to. So what you're getting, again, 6 weeks of intensive training with me, hiring and training a salespeople with chamber model, emails, PowerPoints, marketing material, $1,000 value, $4,000 value. We will fulfill and close every deal for you. That's a $4,000 value together. 6 months of mentoring, $3,000 value. We have our Q&A sessions Monday mornings and Thursday evenings. We have our Facebook group as well. It's a $1,000 value. Level 1 referral program. Total value, $11,973. KennyCannonTraining.com/Matt. Whatever is listed on the page is still available. Okay, so you don't have to ask me if you're in the top 10 or whatever. Whatever is listed on the page is still available. It's $497 to get started tonight. And you can go to that link and do this. So let's grab some of these questions that came in while we were sitting here doing that.
Okay. All right. One was do we have anybody in the New York, any chambers in southern New Jersey? Not that I'm aware of. Kenny, you haven't talked to any members in that part of New Jersey yet?
No, but I'm familiar with that part. Like if you talk about like the Cherry Hill area, I'm familiar with that part of Jersey.
It's Josie. Yeah, it's Josie. Weiser asked that.
Yeah, if that's the area, I'm very familiar with that part of Jersey. So if you wanted to hook up and go down there for a day, then I'd be more than happy to do. I actually play. If you're in that area, you probably know. You might know where the Philadelphia Flyers, the practice facility for the Flyers, is in Cherry Hill. Or in that vicinity. I used to play tournaments down there when I was younger. So I know the area very well. I traveled down there probably 50 times. So if you wanted to hook up with something down there, what we would do is we would book like 10 appointments in the area for one day. I would shoot down there, and we would just hit all of them in one day, and then we'd probably get 2 or 3 of them, and then I'd just go home. And they would be your deals. We don't take anything from that. That's all part of the Done With You program. Are the sessions recorded for access in the members area? Yes, they are. Every single one of them. And it's a freaking nightmare, James, to be honest with you, because it's a lot of bandwidth and it takes a long time. But yes, every single Q&A that we've ever done or mentoring call that we've ever done on Mondays and Thursdays, they're all recorded and they are all archived in our members area. You can go back and listen to any one of them.
Hey, Kenny, I'm curious, how many Chamber of Commerces are out there? I know that's just one organization that you're talking about this applying with.
Scott, how many total chambers are out there? Do you know?
I can't remember. I thought you looked that up one time, Kenny. I'm not 100% sure. I'll Google it real quick and find out.
Yeah, look it up. And you know what? You know what's interesting too? This is just getting involved with this is the first time I'd ever heard of this. Chamber of Commerce is an international organization. I never knew that. We have a member in France. We have members in Japan. We have members in Australia. There's a chamber. We found like 40 chambers of commerce in this one area of Japan that this guy was living in, right in his little local area, this little business town that he was in or whatever. So Chamber of Commerce is everywhere. But you're right. That is only one organization that we work with. BNI is another one. But I'll tell you, if you just stick with the Chamber of Commerce, there's more than enough.
And I've got 13,000 chambers registered worldwide and 4,000 chambers of commerce in the United States.
There you go. And I never knew it was a worldwide organization. I always thought it was just in the United States and Canada.
Wow, 4,000, and I mean, you just need one to be able to make a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, and the key to that really is the chamber sells the deal for you. And when the chamber says buy something, the people do it. That's the key. it's so much easier for a chamber to go in, and there's no trials in that either. They're buying it. There's no
chamber has a really strong reason to sell it because they're going to make money as well.
That's the non-dues revenue part. And I'm telling you right now, and this is another thing, I never knew this. Chamber of Commerce are broke. They have no money. They have none. They have none. We had a guy the other day, Scott could probably tell the story better than I can. We had a guy the other day say, we need $5,000 a year to survive in non-dues revenue. I'm like, we could do that in a month, man. We've got 2,000 members.
He said it to consider accepting a non-dues revenue program.
Yeah, it has to be $5,000 a year. Like, yeah. And it's like that. We could do that easily. If he has 2,000 members in his chamber, we could do that in a month with no problem. And that's it. You need one. Now, I'm not telling anybody here, don't stop at one. That's one of the names of our videos, actually. Don't stop at one. Get the first one and go on to the next one, right? There's no reason not. Well, why would you stop? But, yeah.
Do a big happy dance at one.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Go out and celebrate a little bit. There's no doubt about that. But, if you can get 3 or 4, that's awesome.
The one thing that I'm curious to know from people, if you guys will answer us instead of we sit here and answer all of you guys, we've still got 45 people that have hung in here with us, and I deeply appreciate that. But the one thing that I'd like to know from you guys that are still here, what is it that would cause you not to want to give this a go? I mean, do you see anything else coming in your inbox where the people are practically doing almost all of it with you? Or are you buying stuff and then it's like, see you later? And that's the one thing that as I developed this program with Kenny, I'm an everyman. I was out there struggling in internet marketing world, and I kind of designed something that I felt like I could do. And if you guys don't feel, I mean, what is missing if you're looking at us and you're not hitting that buy button? Do you see any other alternatives out there for you that are doing as much for you to help you to become successful? And Kenny, how much do you charge for private consultation?
When I'm working with a business, if I'm going to go in and train their salespeople, it's a minimum of $5,000.
For how much time?
That's usually a total, like hourly, it's usually a total of like 10 hours or so.
Okay.
And that's usually like me. That's usually just so because I don't want to mislead anybody. Just so I'm clear, that usually includes me writing a script for them, then going over the script with their phone people, listening to their phone people, role playing with them. But that's the stuff I do with you guys every Monday morning for 2 hours. At least, I mean, what do we do? We usually do 2 hours, right? Scott, it's usually at least 11 to 1. That's usually what we do. So, yeah, not everybody stays the whole time. You come in, you answer your question, you come on the microphone, you role play with me for a second, and then you leave, you go off, you do your business. But, yeah, I mean, the value is amazing here. And this is truly a done with you program. I can't, I know I keep saying that, but it is. And I don't really see much else out there that's like that. I'm not saying there's not great products and services out there. There's plenty of them.
There are. I agree.
Right. But as far as us doing it with you, it's gotten to the point, and I don't even really know if I should talk about this, but it's gotten to the point where I've come to Scott a couple of times, and I say to him, like, we could just fly around the country and close chambers of commerce. Like, I don't even know why we're doing these webinars. That it's gotten to that point where, like, it's almost to the point where we don't even need to do, we could just close the chambers ourselves because we're doing the sales part of it, we're doing the fulfillment part of it, we're doing all the technical support, we're making sure that they're using the tool, we're doing and he's driving 20 hours to close the deal anyway. And I know Jim Krabs probably a cool dude, like that's the guy that he closed the deal for. He's a great guy, and he has a great story behind him. But this is a business, you know what I mean? Like I could have went to Nashville, you know what I mean? We could fly around the country, we could book appointments all day and just fly from state to state once a week. I got no problem doing that. So this is truly a done with you program, and we're here. We only make money if you guys make money. That's the way it works. Do the math on the Chamber of Commerce that has 3,000 members. We get $14 an account. That's where we make our money, right? We don't make our money here. We make our money when you guys go out and shut accounts down. That's when we make our money. So we're going to go out there and do whatever we have to do to make sure that you have 1,000 accounts, 2,000 accounts, because that's what we make $14,700 for your 1,000 accounts, right? You make whatever you charge, but we make 14,000. That's where we make our money. It's not here. So it's a done with you program. I also want to answer Excel's question. I don't know if that's the real name, but I like it anyway.
Oh, Excel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, the question is, I have to talk to my partner first, maybe in a month. 2 ways to go about this. Number one, not a qualified prospect. So I could just end it right there, right? If I'm going to Joe and Pete's plumbing, and Pete's in Vegas gambling, and Joe is in the office, I'm not going to pitch Joe because I know the second I walk in there, what is he going to say? Got to talk to my partner. Partner's in Vegas, not coming back for another 2 weeks. I know it, right? And I'm not going to be able to get over that, okay? The other side of it, since it's a free trial, if I'm going in selling a $2,000 thing, not pitching the guy. Since it's a free trial, though, what I could do is I could go in and say, listen, I completely get it. I would never make a decision like that without my partner being involved. But I also don't want to give my partner the wrong information. So what I would do in your situation is and I'm going to go back to the car example, right? I would test drive it so you understand what it is. This way, when it comes down to making a real decision, whether you're going to continue using it or not, you have all the information to present to your partner. If you don't like it, just delete it off your computer and we part as friends. That's fine. But don't just hand your partner a brochure and say, have at it. Show him what you have. That's the best way. And then I would ask him, would you agree with that if you showed him what it was? Or do you think he would be better informed if you sent them a flyer? Is he going to get more information from a brochure, or is he going to get more information from watching the tool work? Install it on your computer, give it a shot for 30 days, and show your partner what it is. The other way to do it is get your partner on the phone. Oh, well, I'll talk to him about it. Let me ask you a question. You're a plumber, right? Do you want me to explain plumbing to my wife? No, you don't want me to do that. You're a plumber. I'm the Google review guy. I don't want you, with all due respect, to explain Google reviews to your partner. Let me explain Google reviews to your partner. Call them on the phone. We'll conference them in, right? Never say three-way with anybody. We'll conference them in, and I will explain to him what it is. So there's really a number of different ways you can go about it. And again, it's an easy. I don't want to sound arrogant and stupid. I probably already do. But there's really nothing out there that we can't overcome. Zero. Nothing. And you could keep trying to do it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. You can keep trying to come up with them, but there's really nothing that you can't overcome if you understand the psychology behind selling stuff to people. There's nothing you can't overcome. It's awesome to have the support, business, need, reputation, help today, tomorrow. It's never going away. At least, yes. And it's only getting bigger. It's only getting bigger. We're really at the start of it. Not the start of it, but it's still small enough where, I hate to bring up the Bitcoin example, but you're not buying Bitcoin at 15,000. You're buying it at like $20. You're not buying it at 4 cents, right? But you're early enough where you're gonna be fine. And that's kind of where we are now. Reviews have been around for a long time. I mean, Amazon, it's been forever, right? Google, forever. Movies, Siskel and Ebert, thumbs up, right? It's been around forever. But we're early enough where businesses aren't really getting it yet. They get it, like conceptually, but they don't understand how to fix it. And when we come in and we explain how we fix it, there's very little resistance to it. And especially when it's a free trial, they jump all over it, usually. What happens if I stop paying the $147 a month? Do I keep paying to have continued residuals? The only way, Jason, we are going to provide our services to your clients is if you're paying the wholesale fee to do that. I mean, that's like a gas station owner saying, well, what happens if I stop paying for my gas every month? Well, then you're not going to pump gas into people's cars, right? What if Sam Walton comes out of the grave and says, I'm not going to buy the, dollar T-shirt from China anymore? Well, then you're not going to sell $3 T-shirts in your store anymore, right? It's just that simple. If you stop paying for our services, then we can't provide our services to your people.
I didn't exactly understand Eli's right below that, Kenny, if you want to touch base on that one.
Are those 147 once per month for 3 months and 32 on the fourth? Eli, you're gonna have to explain that better. I don't know what you're asking. Not avoiding the question. I just don't understand what you mean. And I don't want to give you bad information.
It's $14.70 a month per account after 60 days. So month 3, it begins at $147 for your 10 accounts that you have. And then month 4, it's the same. And month 5, it's the same.
Right. Elise says, this is a great point that Elise is making, and I'm going to actually disagree with her a little bit, and I'm going to challenge it a little bit. And this is actually a good sales angle that you could take as well, because someone may say what Elise said. She said it's not something they could do themselves. I agree with Elise on that, but I do also think that it could be something they could do themselves if they wanted to, right? So let's just play it out a little bit and say that the lawyer says to me, I can handle my own reviews. What am I going to say to the lawyer? Should I do my own divorce? As a professional legal counsel, would you suggest in good faith that I walk in front of a judge and argue my own divorce? Or speeding ticket, or I slipped and fell at a gas, whatever it is. As a professional, would you suggest that I did that myself? Well, of course not. I'm a legal guy and I did this. Okay. Well, as a professional in the Google review business, I suggest you argue in front of a judge. I bring you cases to argue in front of a judge. If I bring you the cases and you argue the cases, we'll love each other forever. And you tailor that down to what he does, right? And I'll get dramatic with it. Like, I'll get crazy with it. And I love lawyers. I will tell the lawyer, you go and beat up the husband for all the money he's worth. I'll bring you the crying women. Now, that seems harsh to you guys. I get it. I totally get it. And it is harsh, right? But you got to understand, when you're selling stuff, when you're in business, you're playing a role. That's not you, right? I wouldn't say that in my backyard at a barbecue, but I would say it in a sales presentation because he gets it. And that's real to him, and he feels it, and it's emotional, right? I will tell him, I will bring you the wife that just got cheated on that wants revenge. She's going to give you the $4,000, what the hell is it called?
Retainer.
There you go. The $4,000 retainer. And you and I both know, Scott, $4,000, that's like the first paperwork, the pendite elite paperwork, and 2 motions. $4,000's done. The average divorce in the United States, $15,000. You and I, Scott, know that. As being a lawyer, Scott, for the last 15 years, you and I both know that. That lady's going to give you $4,000. She's going to put another 11 in your pocket as well. And I will bring you those every single month. Right? So that's how you handle that. So, again, if they want to, if they hit you with, we could do it ourselves, you hit them back by saying, would you suggest I do what you do for a living myself? That's the best way to overcome that. And you could use it on anything you want. Plumber. Oh, I could do it myself. I can handle my reviews. Would you, as a professional, suggest that I put the plumbing in my house? No, honestly. Because if you would suggest that, then you've basically been lying to every one of your prospects for the past 20 years you've been in business. You should have just told them they could do it themselves. And I get that. I get that harsh with them. I do. That's just my personality. That's the way that I was trained. So, one of the best things about what we do here is that you have 2 totally different angles and ways of selling stuff. Scott's way and my way. Like, I don't think Scott would say that. I would go into a plumber's office and say, would you suggest that I do it myself? And if you do, you've been lying to everyone you've ever met in your life. I would say that to their face. So it's 2 different ways of doing it. And that kind of incorporates everybody depending on your personality. All right, what else we got? After you fulfill 10 accounts for us, what happens to the monthly fee when you need more accounts? Excellent question and excellent news for everybody. $147 to the first 10 accounts. After that, it drops down to $970 an account for every other account that you buy. So it gets lower.
I was just typing that into her, so I'm glad you covered it.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people had that question, so it's good that we answered that over the microphone there.
Yeah, and you have an Jason question about an upgrade.
Oh, do you offer an upgrade level of service where you will go out into software and send emails to their customers for them? No, we don't have a service that does that, but we do sometimes. This is kind of technical stuff, so I'm having trouble answering this question. We don't have anything where we can go in and say, and by the way, we're going to send out an email to every one of your previous customers. We don't have anything like that. But we do sometimes, if they have a database already, we will sometimes email those people. But you have to be careful with the email stuff, because if you have 10,000 people at a pizza place with email addresses, right, over 20 years of business, they got 10,000 people on the database. If you blast 10,000 people at one time, and that company gets 1,000 reviews in one day, their Google My Business account is going to get shut down. So you have to make sure that you really drip feed that over the course of a couple weeks or a couple months or whatever. So you'd send out maybe 500 emails a week or whatever for a couple months or whatever it is. So it's kind of like yes and no. We try to stay away from it, but there are some people that we work with where we do that.
And I would also like to chime in on that just a little bit. The results that we have seen with emailing for reviews have quite honestly been dismal.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And the reason is because the whole idea of this is that people will give a review if they are asked to give a review. And with our system, if they are asked and then their name is put in, name, cell, and email, and then hit send on the portal, we've got a really good chance of getting a review out of those people. If you mass email people, they don't know what it is. They don't expect it, and they're not going to fill it out. So anyone that wants to try doing that email, good luck with that. That has not been my experience that has been successful in any way, shape, or form. And it would be disingenuous for me to say that I think that's a great idea and here's how to do it. Because every single time we've tried that and had our clients try it, it has not worked out. And we want to tell you only the things that we have found and work with you on the things that have been effective, because again, we've got our skin in the game. We don't make money unless you guys do. So the reviews need to be asked for by the client from their customers, and that works great.
I agree. And two things really quick, guys. If you become members of Giveaway Masters tonight and you join this program, this is like a little bit of a warning. You will, without a doubt, every single time hear at least Scott coughing and his dog in every live call that we do. I don't think I've ever been on a call with Scott where I didn't at least hear his dog and him cough at least one time.
I get so excited. I get coughing because I get so excited. I apologize about that.
He is
and Allie's kind of chilled tonight, so she's being good.
Very, very passionate person. One of the things that I love. All right, so Scott, can you see that on my screen?
I can. Yep.
Okay.
And so, after the purchase of $497 from Derek is a good one.
Okay. Yeah, real quick, I just want to show you guys around the members area real quick. You're going to have the first of all, you're going to have an amazing email that I wrote that just says welcome and thank you and gives you a couple links, but it is kind of cool. So you get that first as soon as you sign up. You're going to have our Facebook group link right up here, Facebook group right down here. Vital that you join the Facebook group. People in there are awesome. You're going to see a lot of case studies, a lot of inspiration stuff in there. Not a lot of stuff from, Scott and I post in there every once in a while. Like we answer questions a lot, but we don't make a lot of posts. A lot of it's from the members, and they're just telling their stories about like how they got their first chamber, how they got their first deal, how they failed, right? How they went in. We had a guy go in and say he went into a chamber of commerce, and the guy asked him what he did for a living, what kind of business he had, and he's like, well, I don't have one yet. Failure, right? That was just he made a mistake, and he got back up and he did it again, and he's doing fine now. But you're going to hear stories of success. You're going to hear stories of failure, people that went out and tried and didn't succeed, and I think both are equally as important, because even the people that have tried and didn't succeed, they're still in there doing it. And they're still in there going out, and they're coming to the Monday morning calls and the Thursday night calls, and they're getting our help. So Vital, Facebook group is awesome. Plus, we have files and stuff in there that we don't put in here. some random stuff that we come up with that we put in the Facebook group and not in the members area. So we have our welcome video, getting into action, which is this video here, and you will see that it's an hour and 28 minutes of me going on about a whole bunch of stuff that's really important. It's all mindset stuff, and I believe that's the most important thing in the world. If you don't have the right mindset, then you're going to be in trouble. You can also download the workbook. 2 income streams, this is where you get your affiliate links for the referral program. 15-minute video, and you could book a 3-way call with me. So you send the prospect a 15-minute video, and then you book a call with me, and then we sell them using your affiliate link so that you get commission on the deal. Again, this is not, I want to stress this. This is not a main income source of what we do. That is not what this is here for. We don't want people to join this just to refer people to us. The goal is to get trials. That's why we're here. But we also understand that if you invest $500 and you make $500 back in a week, that's a good thing. Now you're even. Now you go out and get your trials. That's cool, right? We don't limit it. You can refer as many people as you want, but we don't want you going out there and doing 500 of these a week. It's just not why we're here. We believe belief is very important for new salespeople. Something I've always preached. Not so much important for people that are more experienced, but if you're not experienced as far as selling stuff and marketing and prospecting and stuff, you have to believe in what you're selling. I'm not going to brag. I don't want to sound arrogant, but for me, I've been doing this for 22 years, I guess it is. I don't know. It's been a long time. So I could pick up the phone with a phone script for an alarm company, and I could start pitching in 10 minutes, right? And then I could switch to rare coins, and I could pitch them, and I could switch to chimney sweeps, and I could pitch them. I'm not saying that I'm going to sell garbage, but I don't have to be like, oh, yes, I love chimneys to go out and sell it. If you're brand new, though, you have to kind of really believe in what you're doing. And you could tell that, like, some of the members in the Facebook group, you could tell the people that really believe that reviews are important, really believe that the tool is going to be the thing that's going to get their clients or prospects to where they need to be. If they really believe it, they're out there talking to people about it. So we talk about that here, and then we do a goal-setting workshop. Again, this is all mindset stuff, but I believe, and many people believe this, and it's true, if you don't have a target, you're not going to hit anything. So you got to make sure you have some sort of target. So we go into that there. Then we go into a demo of the tool. So I actually screencast my phone onto my computer, and I show you how it looks from a client standpoint, as well as from
feedback.
A customer standpoint. I know you guys can't hear this.
Okay.
But this is basically both sides of it. So this is what the customer is going to see, your customer. This is another charity that we work with, the church. This is what they're going to see, and then this is what their customers are going to see, right? Or their parishioners or whatever are going to see. So we go through that there. Let's start making sales. This is all about group stuff. So we use Chamber of Commerce because that's what a lot of our members do. But this could be BNI group, it could be a Rotary Club, it could be whatever. We give you the how to book the appointment. We give you the PowerPoint presentations. You literally book the appointment, show them the PowerPoint presentation. It's done. That's it. Okay, that's all you got to do. Very, very simple. Then we get into setting up your business. This is how you set up, how to take payments and all that stuff. Power of a group, having a group together, doing this together, done with you is very important to us. Okay, it's so important to us, and it's so important to our members that we have new people that come in. We just did this with somebody the other day. We have new people that come in, and we will find them a member in the area to help them get their first deal. They don't make any money off that. They don't get anything off that. They're just doing it because they're part of the group. So this group is a really tight-knit community. It really, really is, and that's something that I think both of us are really proud of, and everyone involved in it. And then this just talks about like a plan going forward. And then we go into clients in 24 hours, advanced email marketing. This is the all stuff about getting deals through email and how you set up it, how you send an email so that you can get a phone call back, and how you send an email so that you can make a phone call easier. Then we go into appointment machine. This right here is it is the best appointment setting system that you're ever going to find. But I think that if you're really going to get into any kind of sales stuff, whether you sell cars, houses, or this stuff, this right here is ridiculously amazing. I mean, this is what I teach Fortune 500, like, not Geico because they do incoming calls, but like car salespeople, real estate agents, life insurance people. This is the exact process that we talked about. $5,000 for training. This is exactly what I take them through. And these 3 things right here, propaganda email 1, 2, and 3, nobody does this. Nobody in the world teaches this stuff. This is the case study, testimonial, and thread email. I touch a client or prospect 15 times between the time I book an appointment to the time I show up. Do you ever book an appointment, show up to the appointment, and they're like, who the hell are you? That's because you didn't do these 3 things in the middle. You got to hit them over and over and over again. So we teach you everything there that you need to know. And I'm not going to go through every single one of these videos because they're all, I'm just going to, I'll read you what they are. I'm not going to click into every one of them. Face-to-face process, find the person, show them which one would you choose, right? And then tell them what to do. Sign up now, take it for a free trial or whatever. Marketing resources. I demo the platform right here. Okay, so you can watch me do it. This is the one I was talking about before. I know you can't hear this, but if you watch it real quick.
Hey, this is Kenny here, one of the managers. I want what the customer.
It's basically a complete demo
okay. Inside
that you can use to show your prospects. All right, all I do is say, this is Kenny here. I'm one of the managers here. And then I just go into the demo. So you can use that. You can put it on your own YouTube channel. You can put it on your own website. Whatever you want to do with it, you can use it for however you want to use it for. And then we have the thing in a zip file here that you can use as well. Then we have our live Q&A replay. Someone was asking about this before. These are all of the previous ones that we did. Monday is not open yet for some reason. It's in there. Maybe I put the wrong date on it. That could be it. But if you see here, we have all of the replays that we've ever done. And these are quite lengthy. 2 hours and 16 minutes. And this is pretty much all us role-playing. You're going to get the... I know you guys can't hear
Scroll down.
Most of the stuff you're not going to see in here because most of it is just us talking. But all of these are pretty long. We on Monday mornings especially, we go, usually over 2 hours. See, this one's 2 hours, 37 minutes down here at the bottom. And, because when we say every question is going to get answered, every question is going to get answered. And sometimes we'll go in there and it's just, I got to spend 45 minutes with somebody to help them overcome an objection or get past the gatekeeper or whatever. And we take all the time that we need to make sure that everybody has the information that they, that they're looking for. So, yeah, go ahead.
I had a quick question from Josie Weiser.
Sure.
And if she buys, she's going to have to put her money together tomorrow. But if she buys, will you come and help her in New Jersey?
Where is she located?
Josie, where can you unmic yourself?
Did she? Well, yeah. What you said? You said Jersey?
She's South Jersey. Remember?
Yeah. That was the Cherry Hill person. Or
yeah, I believe.
Yeah, of course.
She can unmute herself if she wants to ask you. I think.
If you want to. Yeah, if you purchase tomorrow, if you're a member of the group, I don't care when you could purchase tomorrow, or you could be someone who purchased in January when we first started. It doesn't matter. If you're in my local area, I'm more than happy to help you. I'm not like Scott. I'm not going to drive 18 states over to. If I'm going to do that, I'll close my own deal, right? I'll drive to Ohio to close my own deal or fly to Ohio, but I'm not going to do that for somebody else. And I'm just being honest with you, right? But if you're in Jersey, then that's fine. I have no problem doing that. And like I said, I know that area pretty well, that South Jersey, Philly area. I know it pretty well.
Can you unmute her for a second? She wanted to ask you that.
If I can figure it out.
I can't see where to do it.
I think I have to invite as a presenter. There we go. Is there a quick start? Should we go through all of the training before approaching a business? That's a great question, Elise. No, you really shouldn't, to be honest with you. You should go through... you're going to have to go through the mindset stuff, I think, because I think that's really important. I really do. It's something that I put a lot of time in myself, in my own life, getting my mind right and all that. So I think that's really, really important. And I don't think I would be where I am today if I didn't have the right mindset. So I think that's really important. But I think you should at least understand what the tool does and what it is. So you should watch the demo. And honestly, Elsie, I mean, or Elise, sorry, you could take that demo that I give you, and you could just go into your local barbershop or pizza place or someone that you do business with, and you can literally say this to them. Watch this. Ready? You can walk in and say, listen, Joe is a barber, right? Or you're a woman. So let's say it's Anna cuts your hair, right? And it's a hair salon. You could say, Anna, listen, I have this new thing that I'm doing, and it helps companies get better reviews online. To be honest with you, I'm brand new at this, and I'm kind of just figuring it out myself. And now listen to the wording here, right? I'm brand new at this, and I'm kind of just figuring it out myself. Because of that, I'm giving it away for free right now just to see how it all works. I want to show you a demo of what it does. Do you have 5 minutes where I can come in and show it to you? Or if you're there already, do you have 5 minutes now so I could play you a short video? Play the video. This is what it does. I'm not too sure if it's even going to work or not, but it doesn't cost anything. It's a free trial for you. So do you think you'd want to give it a shot and let me know what you think it is, if it's something I should pursue or not? Listen, when I was in the car business, I didn't do this much in the stock business or the mortgage business, but when I was in the car business, I used to tell people that I was kind of new here 18 months after I started. Now, here's the thing, right? Never lie to anybody. Never lie. If you're lying when you're selling stuff, you're doing it because you don't know how to sell stuff. Only bad salespeople lie. And I'm not just saying that to sound like I'm like a great person or whatever. I've done a lot of horrible stuff in my life. I'm not saying that to sound that good. You shouldn't have to lie if you're a skilled salesperson, right? So you could say to them, I'm kind of new at this if you've been doing it for 3 years. You can also say something like what I used to say in the car business was, someone asked me, how long have you been here? Well, let me tell you something, man. If this place ever shut down, I probably wouldn't even get my mail. And then I'd go right into the pitch. Just blow it over, right? So you could play it either way. That's what I would suggest you do, okay? Do you have to go through all the training? You should eventually. You should spend maybe 45 minutes, an hour a day going through some of the training videos. But once you understand what that tool does, you can walk in and say, listen, I'm not too sure about this either. And that's why we should take a test drive of it. And then you're going to give me feedback and tell me if it's something I should pursue or not. And I wanted to come to you first since you're my person at the hair salon.
One thing that I wanted to mention as well, and sorry, I forgot, but we just published our latest press release for the Knightdale Chamber of Commerce, Kenny. And that's another one of the things that I'd like all of the people to know, that once you get connected with a Chamber of Commerce, we publish a video news release on your behalf to help market you in your local area. And I don't know if any of you guys know what a video news release costs, but it's a $499 product that we give to all of our members as a bonus when they get connected to their local chamber. And again, I really don't, unless you guys join and get involved with us and understand just how much we do to try to help everybody that's in our group, then you're not going to understand unless you join. And if you join and you absolutely hate it, then we don't have any problem giving people their money back if they try it and they don't like it. But I really don't think you guys will ever find people that are more committed to helping you become successful. And Kenny is one of the most successful people that I've ever met. And I actually pursued him for 4 years to be able to get a chance to work with him. And you guys just have absolutely no idea how fortunate we all are in Giveaway Masters to have Kenny on board with us, because he is motivated to be able to help every one of you guys make money, because the only way he's going to make it is if you do. So I want to make sure and give Kenny as much. And I also want to take time out to thank sincerely Matt as well for bringing us some people to be able to talk to. So I'll get off my soapbox again.
And Michael, too, I want to try to help you if you want. I invited you as a presenter or as someone who could talk. So I am more than willing to help you with what you got going on now. If you want to talk to me about it, I have no problem doing that. I mean, if you want to join this program and do that, I'll help you with everything that you have. But basically, Michael's question is: this is a better program than I'm selling right now. Right now, I'm selling personal items just to try to pay my bills. So if you want like little tips and tricks on how to sell more of whatever you're selling now, I'd be more than happy to help you with that right here live on this call. Even though you're obviously not a member of this program, that's fine with me. I'll give you tips on how to close more deals with whatever you're doing now. And then obviously if you come on to the program, then I'll help you with that as well. But if you have questions about objections that people are throwing out at you or whatever, I'll be more than happy to help you with that. But yeah, guys, listen, it is what it is. It's a review tool that's going to help businesses make more money. It's just that simple. And you give it away for free, and we take care of everything else from that point forward. It's a true done-with-you program. We don't really like to call it a done-for-you program because we like you guys involved. We like you guys involved. And if I go down to South Jersey with Josie to help her close deals, she's going to be sitting next to me when I'm in that chair. I'm not going to go out there and close. If I'm going to close them, I'm going to keep them, right? If I close them, I keep them, right? So if she's there with me, though, then she's going to be able to learn how I do that, and eventually she's going to become someone who could do it on her own. So we're more than happy to do it with you, and I don't really believe in the whole done-for-you thing anyway. I think that's a sales tactic to get people to join stuff, because if it's really done for you, then what the hell do we need you for? Yeah, I always thought that, like, if it's done, if it's truly like all done for you, then I don't need you, Josie. No offense, but I don't, right? But if you're willing to come with me to that Chamber of Commerce or whatever, and we sit down together with that person, and you listen to me present it, and then the next one we go to, you present it, and I listen to you, and then throughout the day as we're driving from place to place, I'm giving you feedback, and to be quite honest with you, you're giving me feedback. Oh, you shouldn't have said that. That pissed them off. That's cool, right? That's totally fine. We do that together, and then eventually you're grown enough, quote unquote, to go out there and just totally do it on your own. That's really where we want you to be. That's why we always call it done with you as opposed to done for you. But again, the selling part, I believe, go ahead.
If you can unmute her, Kenny, I think she wanted to say something. I don't know if you're able to do that or not.
I tried. I don't think I think when she said I can't unmute, I think she meant like she can't physically talk on the microphone. Like maybe she doesn't have one or something. I invited her to be a presenter twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think it just might be that she can't.
Okay, I got it. And I've got a quick question for Matt.
Sounds good.
Okay, Matt, I wanted to ask you, in your easy videos, I went through the entire thing yesterday. I'm trying to find a welcome to our website video. Do you guys have one of those, or did I not see it when I was going through them?
We do, but it's under the because there's two categories, and one is like all the local business stuff.
Yep.
And then the other category is the affiliate marketing, and the welcome to our website is in the other category, which is, I know it's kind of strange. It should be in both.
But it's under the affiliate marketing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Great. Perfect. Thank you.
All right. So, Scott, let me ask you, is there anything else you think that we could cover? Maybe not to get anyone to join, because maybe someone doesn't want to join, and that's okay. But just to help them understand what we got going on here, or maybe help them in any way that we possibly can.
I will say one other thing that we're working on in development right now, and we actually opened up a new website today, and our goal that we're going to work towards is we're going to work towards ranking every one of our members in their local area for the services that we provide. So I don't know if any of you people feel like that having a local ranking in the city that you live in for digital services would help you be able to be successful, but that's what we're working on right now. We just opened up our national website today. We're going to rank the first 10 cities that we're working on, and if everything goes successfully, then, as an example, Josie in South Jersey, we will be able to rank you in your local city for the services that we provide on Google page 1, and then work towards getting you into the 3-pack for that as well. And that's something else that we're working on to be able to help all of our members be successful, because, again, the only way that we're going to be successful is if you are. And I really wish that all the people that are still here just go look and try to find any program anywhere that is doing as much to be able to help each one of you be successful. And, you know, if we can help you get 2 deals in 60 days, then that more than pays for the money that you're paying us. And then if we can do that, then we just got to duplicate that over and over again to be able to help you make more money. And I designed something that I wish I could have found 4 years ago. And it's an honor that Kenny has agreed to be my partner in this program. It's like Christmas every day for me to have Kenny with me, because I pursued him for 4 years and he was on my bucket list. And I just hope all of you guys can understand what an honor it is. And again, I don't mean to let out my man crush too often, but I'm really honored to be able to have a chance to work with Kenny, and I think all of you will as well, because he really is the best salesperson I've ever met. And as a 30-year salesperson myself, who's been good enough to be able to make a living above average myself doing it, to be able to work with a person the caliber of Kenny is something that you guys don't want to pass up. And think about it. If you get prospects who might be interested in joining our business opportunity, then get on the phone with Kenny and let him close them for you, and you make $248.50 for everyone that you do that with. I mean, are there any other programs out there that you guys have the owner of the program is going to get on the phone with you to help you get your money back? I don't think it exists anywhere. So I know we've got some people that are still here. I know that you're waiting for me to give you permission to go ahead and join us. And I'm giving that to you. If you don't like it, after 29 days, ask for your money back and we will gladly give it to you. But if you will follow what Kenny tells you to do, you will be successful with us, and we'll do everything that we can to make sure that that happens for you.
Yeah, and the other thing too, guys, is try to, if you can, and I'm going to answer Jimmy's question. Try to, if you can make it, come to those calls that we do, because I'm telling you right now, you're gonna know that you're in the right place. If you show up Monday morning at 11 o'clock, you're gonna know you're in the right place. If you show up Thursday at 7, you're gonna know you're in the right place, because there's just nothing else out there like that. And there's a lot of great products out there. There's a lot of great training out there. There really is. And I say that all the time. But, you know, what we have here is different. The combination, I think it's the combination of everything that we have together. It's just something that I've never seen before. And I've written copy for hundreds of products. I have 42 Product of the Day on Warrior Plus. I got 2 Product of the Year nominations. And I've written a lot of stuff. You know, produced a lot of stuff. I've never seen anything like that. I've never come close to creating anything like this. And if it wasn't for Scott, I would have never thought to do anything like this. You know, and it's just happened at the right time, and everyone came together at the right time, and it just all worked. So. And
I'd also like to say that another thing that is beginning to happen now in our group, in the Facebook group, more and more, is that Kenny and I can't be there all the time to kind of, you know, be there to support everybody. But the thing that has begun to happen that has meant the most to me lately is that we had a guy the other day named Ray, and he wrote in the Facebook group, look, I'm in, I see kind of what's happening with everybody else, but I'm just scared. And he actually said scared poopless. And now, I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but it was his words. He said, I just don't know if I can bring myself to go out and talk to my Chamber of Commerce. And I wasn't there, and Kenny wasn't around anywhere, and we had 10 or 15 other members that chimed in, and they said, hey, man, you can do it, you can do it. And the support, the cooperative environment that we're creating in our Facebook group now is just like not anything that I've ever seen in any other group that I've been in, because we're all pulling for each other, and we all want to work together and make things happen. And it's not just the owners of the company now, it's the support and the friendship and the cooperation that is beginning to develop within our group that is beginning to make things happen for each other as well. And again, you can make money. I've made money all my life, whoop-de-doo. But being able to feel the fulfillment of truly helping other people, You can't put a price tag on that. And I'm 56 years old, and I've worked hard enough and made enough money. I really have. I mean, I can do that. I can sell. I can do that. I will always be employable because most people are scared to do what I can do, which is I'm not scared to ask people to buy stuff. But most people can't do that. And so that it's just, I'm looking to have something for the rest of my life that I can go to bed at night and feel like that I'm truly positively impacting the lives of other people. And if that makes a difference to any of you, then join us. If it makes it sound like I'm some kind of a bleeding heart liberal person that you just can't stand, then that's fine, because Kenny ain't like that. That's why we're a great partnership.
Got a machine gun right next to me right now. I'm just kidding. It was a joke. I don't have a machine gun.
But on the other hand, the greatest thing about Kenny, since we've become friends, is that he comes from a different part of the country. He's got a different kind of an attitude. But the thing that he and I have in common is that we both have a sincere love and desire to help other people. And, Kenny has made a whole lot more money doing this kind of thing than I have, but he has got a heart of gold, and he will bend over backwards, maybe not drive 19 hours to go help you like I will, but he cares about you being successful beyond the fact that we'll make money with you. And if you don't believe that, then come to our trainings and see. And if you don't like it, we give you your money back. If what we're talking to you about on this webinar tonight just sounds like a bunch of hooey, then put us to the test. If you join us and you don't feel like that we're being good to our word, then you can get your money back. But if we're right, you've got a better chance of making money with the two of us than anything you'll ever run across in your life. I believe that with every fiber of my being.
And Elise just said, Elise, we say this probably 3 or 4 times a day at least. They're looking at it the wrong way. Stop selling and start giving. I actually, if you look back, I'm not going to show you the members area again because it's a whole process to me to change the screen share. But the first video is you're a giver. It's all about what you just said. Now, that doesn't mean, Elise and everyone else who's here, that doesn't mean that objections don't come up and you got to, I mean, there's still a process to it, right? You're giving away something for free, but it's still a process of going about it. But yes, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. And we talk about that all the time. That's something that we talk about all the time. There was a question here that I did want to answer from Jimmy. Can these deals be done with business owners over Zoom or other screen share devices instead of live? So the answer to that question is yes. But the one thing that you want to keep in mind, Jimmy, is that the further away from the money you get, the less likely it is you're going to close the deal. So direct mail is going to be very low, right? It's nothing wrong with direct mail. It's going to be low. Email marketing is going to be very low. Telephone is going to be a little bit higher, but it's still 10%, 8%, 12% if you're really good, right? Somewhere in that area. Selling stuff, selling a $500 product, 12 to 10%, 12%, 8%, somewhere in that area. Face-to-face is going to be always the highest. Always, no matter what. So the further away you get from that prospect, the less likely it is you're going to take the money from the prospect. That's just the way it works. And the numbers and data prove that out, over and over and over again. With that said, though, yes, 100%, you can do it over Zoom. I'm not a big phone guy, and I've never said that in my life, I don't think. But I'm not a big phone guy with this offer because they have to see it. But you can do it through Zoom. You can do it through Skype. You could do it through that as long as you have the ability, like you said, to share the screen so that you could show them what it is that we actually do. If you want to use a telephone, that's cool too, but just make sure you're using the telephone to book appointments, showing them through a propaganda sequence, which we teach you an appointment machine, and then showing up at the appointment, whether it's through telephone or through Zoom or whatever. Because if you do it the telephone way with an appointment, you can go telephone, propaganda sequence, telephone. Because they're seeing it through that sequence, right? So that's okay. You could do that. I'm talking more along the lines of like a one-call close. Very, very difficult with this. Because they have to look at it in order to get it done. Not saying it can't be done, but it's better if they look at it. The other thing you have to look at too is the sheer numbers behind it, right? How many people can you see something I was taught very early on in my career? How many people can you actually see in a day? Yes, the closing ratio is going to be higher, but how many people can you actually visit in one day versus how many people can you call in one day, right? So you have to just play the numbers there and work it out. But yes, Zoom is fine. Skype is fine. Any kind of screen sharing is fine. Paul, thank you for coming. Thank you for the feedback on the content. I'm glad you liked it. Got to be up in 4 hours. It's 4 a.m. I'm going to sleep till noon tomorrow. So, listen, I could brag a little. I'm going to sleep till noon tomorrow because I am exhausted. I slept like 2 hours last night. I want to thank you, Kenny, Scott, and Matt, for a great webinar. But I have to get going, and you will see my name come in tomorrow as a member for sure. I look forward to working with you. Take care and good night. Thank you, Josie. And make sure when you get into the Facebook group, just send me a private message and just remind me. I'm going to forget. I'm terrible with this kind of stuff. So I'm going to forget who you are. But just tell me I'm Josie. We talked about Jersey. And then I'll know exactly who you are. And
also tag him in the main Facebook group as well, because he'll get a notification that you messaged him if you put his name in the post.
Oh, yeah, because I'm not going to get a message if we're not friends, right?
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, either tag me in a post or just friend request me. Either or. Just get in touch with me some way and let me know in Facebook. And let me know, just remind me that we talked about the South Jersey thing. And then I'll know exactly what we talked about. And then me and you are going to sit down and develop a plan on when we're going to book appointments. We're going to pick out 7 or 8 chambers in the South Jersey area. We're going to book appointments for those chambers, and then we're going to go visit them. I'm going to be in San Diego all the week of the 21st to 27th, so we can't do it that week. But after that, that's when we're going to book the appointments for. And I'm going to be down in South Jersey. I'm only going to come down there for a day, and we're going to hit 7 or 8 chambers in one day, and we're going to get 3 or 4 of them to say yes to you. Just that simple. And then if we got to follow up with them at a later time, we'll follow up with them at a later time. Because the Chamber of Commerce thing is not a, I can't really beat them up too much. I got to be kind of nice. Not that I'm not nice all the time. I mean, I try to be as nice as I can. But it's not a hard charging. That's why Scott's better at it than I am. It's not really a hard charging thing like I'm used to. It's not just a slam them all the time. That's not really how it works. But we'll get a couple of them to say yes, and then we'll go back and follow up later on.
And Kenny, I can explain to everybody why, because it's not a knock on the people that work at the Chamber of Commerce, but they're salaried employees, and they don't have to make a decision. So that what they like to do, they're really kind of like it seems like they were all raised in the South, because they just love getting together and talking. So they want to get together and they want to talk. And so you talk to them and have a friendly conversation and ask them all about them. And then eventually they'll ask you what you do, and then you break out Kenny's PowerPoint training and go over it with them. And then they'll say, well, I like it, but we need to talk to so-and-so. And so what I found is that the chambers, to be able to get them closed up, is usually a 2 or, excuse me, there's the cough, 2 or 3 different presentation close. And so it's just the way it is. I mean, they're salaried employees and they don't have to make a decision right now, so they don't.
Yeah. See, my problem, and I'm going to be honest with you, Josie, this is what's going to happen, right? We're going to get a couple of them. I'm not going to say we're not. We're going to get a couple of them. Scott's closing ratio on chambers will be higher than mine all day long. There's no doubt about that. Because when that person tells me I gotta talk to this other person, I'm going to say, why don't you just show it to him? If I go into a place, I am trying to walk out with a deal. And I am going to probably not leave until it's like last second. Like it's time to go. Like we know. Right? I told a story last Monday on our call. I had a face-to-face deal that I was trying to close. This was years ago, probably 10 years ago. And I walked in with a contract and a set of handcuffs. And I told the guy I'm either walking out in these or with this signed. Because Scott brought a pillow the other day and a blanket. He's like, I'm staying until he's there. And I was like, I did something similar. And I actually didn't get the deal done with that guy. But anyway, it's still a funny story. And I didn't get arrested either. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's not that crazy. But I do try my best, if I know it's a qualified prospect, to do that. Elise says she's right on the border. Ooh, I'm interested in that too, Elise. See, this is the other thing that you guys have to understand. Like, I don't want to travel halfway across the world to help somebody close a deal. But if Elise is saying she's right by the border of Canada, All she has to do is say Toronto Maple Leafs, and I'll be up there closing deals with her like once a month. Because I'm a huge Toronto Maple Leafs fan. So I'll be like, if she's anywhere near the Air Canada Center, sure, book appointments all day long. Like, whatever. If you tell me the Tarpon are running down in Port St. Lucie, Florida, and you have a chamber, we're good. Right? But I won't go to Ohio. If you have something that I like to do, I'll be there all the time. Write it off. Go to a Maple Leafs game. We're good.
I think I may be heading to St. Augustine the end of next week. So
St. Augustine's beautiful.
Hey, man, it's closer than Nashville. I mean, that Franklin, Tennessee, man, oh, man. That was a whole lot longer drive than I thought it was.
I saw a guy, I was in St. Augustine 2 or 3 years ago. And then after this little short thing by me, we'll let you guys go unless you have any other questions. I was in St. Augustine 2 or 3 years ago driving down there, and I flew down there. I was in a rental car, and I was like, they had these little like rental scooters that you can rent. And I'm not a motorcycle. Like, I never rode a motorcycle in my life. I'm like, that'll be cool to do. Why not? I'm driving down one of the roads, and right in front of me, a dude gets hit on the scooter. While I'm going to rent the thing. I'm driving to the rental place to do it. Guy gets hit right in front of me. He was okay. He was fine. But, like, that was like a sign, like, do not rent the scooter. And I didn't do it. I went fishing instead. But, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. They have a big fort down there. Like a Spanish settlement fort thing that you can go see. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, so that is all for this evening. Thank you all for staying. We still have quite a few people on here, which is awesome. And if you guys have any other questions, giveawaymasters1@gmail.com. You can reach us there. Scott, did you send that to everyone or just Jimmy? I'll send it to everyone.
I'm not sure.
There you go. You can reach us there. You can also find me on Facebook. You can just search my name and you'll see me up there like 5,000 times. If you want to have a conversation about whatever. And that's pretty much it. KennyCannonTraining.com/Matt. If it's listed on the page, everything that we have is still there to get. And Scott is located in the triangle of North Carolina. Raleigh, Durham, and another part of the triangle that I don't know.
But you're coming to North Carolina soon.
We are, because I'm coming down there soon, and then we're going to that thing in October, too.
Yeah, October, yep.
But I'm coming down before that.
Okay, oh, good.
Yeah, I want to come down. Yeah, I want to come down when I get back from San Diego.
Okay, good.
All right,
I got
guys.
your birthday.
I know, that's why I'm coming.
You're going to love that.
Scott got me a birthday present, so I'm flying to North Carolina, and we're going to go close some deals and hang out for a little bit. And then we'll go into a Chamber of Commerce thing where we're going to speak in front of the Chamber of Commerce in North Carolina or something like that. All right, guys, so that is all for this evening. Thank you guys for coming. And Matt, any final words?
Oh, just again to thank everyone for the time. It's amazing. The people that are still here is amazing, and including you guys too. I really appreciate you sticking around and being so thorough. I'm very excited about this program. If you haven't picked it up and you're on the fence, I'm going to be sharing some more tomorrow, next couple of days, just as far as why I feel that it's such a great thing to be able to pursue. Like I mentioned before, people that are looking for something where you're going to be getting a lot of help as far as holding your hand to close and then the fulfillment's done for you. I don't know of another program out there that offers this level, and I hope that you can tell how serious these guys are about wanting you to succeed, and it really shines through. So again, everybody, thank you, and if you're looking for the replay, we will have it available within the next day, and I'll send an email out to everyone as well. But that's all I got.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for staying this long. I know it was a little long, but like Matt said, we try to be as thorough as possible. Matt, thank you for doing this with us. It was an honor and a privilege, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, reach out and let us know.
Sounds great. Take care, everybody.
Take care, guys.
All right, take care, everyone.